Okay, guys, so let's do the intro, I guess.
All right, I'm getting off Pokerogue. All right, you have my full attention.
Uh-oh, that scares me.
Yeah, you've had my half attention until now.
Oh no, please, guys, help me. All right,
You only had half of my attention.
So, what is up, chat? Hope you guys have all had a fantastic week. It is now time for the weekly podcast, Writers and Weebs, unofficially referred to as the Star Fox Podcast.
Yeah.
Of course, we cannot legally go by that name because we do not wish to be sued for all that we own. They wouldn't get much.
We don't wish to be sued for being named Star and Fox.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't get much from a lawsuit, but... Oh, man. In any case, this week's discussion is actually brought to you by my co-host, who shall now introduce herself.
Me. Hi, my name is Star. That's it. That's all you need to know.
That's all she wants to say. She's not even gonna say. It's like, oh hey, I'm Starly120. You can find me at Twitch with the same name and a YouTube channel. She'll wait till she's She'll wait till she's in my chat to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me try that again. I'm Star. I'm very antisocial.
Fair enough.
If you couldn't tell.
I am of course the other host, FGRolls. You can find me here at twitch.tv and at YouTube. Oh wait, if you're already watching this on YouTube, then you're already there.
All right, you can find me in the description.
Yeah, I always link her in the description. You can also technically find me at Twitter, but I don't use the same name and I don't remember what my handle is.
It's actually X.
Yeah, no, I am never calling it that. You're gonna watch this on YouTube just to spit on me?
Wow.
All right, in any case, so Star brought us the topic today. So today we're gonna be discussing romance in media. And since this is in fact Star's party, she gets to start us off with the first topic. Have fun with that. It's your show. Have fun.
No, you can't do that. I'm sorry.
Yes, I can. Come on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is funny.
Please keep this entire long stretch of silence in the video.
I absolutely will. Okay. So I'll get the ball rolling. So Star stated she wanted to talk about, well, the way she explained it to me is more about the representation of romance in media and how that made her feel as a member of LGBTQ.
Oh, I said both of us because you are technically a part
I feel very well represented, kind of.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, you also just recently discovered that you're part of the LGBTs, so
this is also true. Like before, I really didn't give I didn't really give a shit, to be honest. I'm like, people will like what they like, so it's like if they want to have gay couples or straight couples, I'm like, hey, enjoy what you enjoy. But then I started thinking about it as like, so for those who are unaware, I recently learned that I am demi-romantic, as in I have to form an emotional bond with someone before the concept of a romantic interest really forms. This is something I did not know about myself, but makes a lot of sense when I look back at myself.
Yeah.
So
on my end, I'm a little more involved. I'm aromantic bisexual. So if I see an attractive human, I'm like, damn, I want to smash that, but I can't because emotional connections are hard.
This is fair. They really are.
Like that's just putting it in the simplest of terms. It's more of like I don't feel romantic attraction, right?
Yeah.
Romantic attraction and by that extension, like romantic gestures make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so
For the record of people watching this, because people tend to get confused about like whether like when not to take away the discussion. When like say Jaden Animations came out as Arrow A's, a lot of people were like, so you can't date. It's like no, aromantic people can date.
Oh yeah, aromantic people can date. There's nothing like they can date, no problem.
Yeah.
It's just that everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it was indeed Jaden's video that made me start like doing research on it and made me realize this about myself. So shout out to you, Jaden Animations. You're
Jaden
the best.
Animations is awesome.
But me in particular, I've never felt comfortable with romantic gestures or anything basically romantic that's like directed towards me.
Yeah.
And this is where the really the idea for this topic came from, and it was I love watching and reading romance, but I'm an aromantic.
It is an interesting dichotomy. I don't even know if I'm using that word right.
I was sitting there while Fox was, I don't know, you were playing Genshin. I think you were exploring and opening chests and whatnot. And I was like, oh, this could be a funny title. Romance for the Aromantic.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where the idea popped into my brain, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna pitch the idea. Let's see if we can do this.
Yep. Did not get the ball rolling.
Yeah, so I asked him, I was like, can we do this? And he's like, I'll think about it. And then didn't talk to me until today.
To be fair, I showed you the thumbnails, what was it, last night?
Yeah, like last night. Okay, didn't talk to me about it until last night. Technically,
what I said was I needed to have more thought and probably do more research. I did not do the research portion.
That is okay. I didn't do any research either.
Yeah, exactly. It was like... I actually spent the entire week thinking about it. It's like, did I feel comfortable talking about this? And I'm like, I think this is just a fun discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Yeah, beloved, the way that I am running this podcast is the same way that I did homework in school. Not at all.
Same here. As in, I will BS everything here, but it will sound logical.
We're just improving this shit, okay? Like,
yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing. Both me and Star are probably big fans of the romance genre.
Oh yeah.
Which is...
I'm finna go up to the teacher and be like, can I get an extension on this?
Let me think about that. No extensions.
No.
Half-ass and brute force, the mix of the heavens. But yeah, it's like the romance genre, I think, is an incredibly diverse and interesting thing where it's like there's a lot of different ways you can handle romantic interest.
Mm-hmm.
But the representation part, everybody can agree, representation just does not really exist in Hollywood.
Yes.
Like, they're trying to do better, but them doing better sometimes often feels more like a cash grab.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
And especially in some shows that I will not mention, it's more like you kind of just throw these couples together because you've noticed that the fandom is like, oh, I would love it if these characters got together because they're hot and they would represent, and it's like, how did this happen?
How did this happen?
Now, somebody can say it's like, oh, well, you missed the nuance of everything, how much the characters share. It's like, you know what? I'm going to mention the show, Ruby, Blake, and Yang. I never understood how they ended up getting together, where the love interest came in. Now, obviously, someone can say it's like, I'm looking in from the outside, from my straight male brain or something like that, but it was like, I really didn't see it, and I do feel like that's typically the opinion of a vast majority of viewers, and this includes many of them being LGBT people.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very interesting, but I also could be very wrong. So
most of representation in media is just stereotypes, and that's kind of annoying, right?
Yep.
because I'm part of the community. At least I'd like to think I am. Not me
Maybe.
with imposter syndrome over here. Am I?
I don't know. I don't even...
And like even I can see that sometimes big wig studios trying to shoehorn in representation is just a load of stereotypes, and it's not good for anyone involved, really. It doesn't represent the community well. It gives people a very bad opinion of the community.
Irony, the portion of the world which should be the most anti-LGBTQ plus community, aka the people who do basically Hoyoverse, where that's based, China.
Yeah.
Somehow ends up doing the best with lesbian couples in something.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. They're probably the most homophobic countries, and yet their ability to write them is actually cool.
Because here's the thing about gay couples is that they're literally just two normal human beings who love each other like a straight couple does,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the way that you should be writing your gay couples is the same way you should be writing your straight couples, because they're the same.
Mm-hmm.
Except, guys take it in the ass.
Oh my...
I don't know, that could also be a stereotype. I don't know, I have a gay viewer. I love that guy, by the way. But yeah, that's what I find most, annoying in media, is that they try to treat, gay couples that they're just something different, when in reality they're not. They're the same as, normal straight couples. There's nothing wrong with a man loving another man, or a woman loving another woman.
Nope.
I love women. Have you seen them?
If anyone doesn't know, Star's favorite woman is especially Tamamo.
Oh yes, 100%. That is peak woman right there.
In any case, I guess to back up is how the treatment of, I guess, our specific, what would we say, romanticism? Because it's not sexuality, so it's...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be romanticism. I mean...
So it's how that's treated in media.
Romanticism and sexuality, they're different, but they definitely go hand in hand, right?
Not necessarily, because like you said, you're aromantic and bisexual, and many people would probably say those don't really fit.
Yeah, they
but
don't.
Romantic attraction and sexual attraction, they're very close to each other is what I could say, but they're not at all the same thing. As a demi-romantic, I could still be technically asexual. I could be homosexual, heterosexual. I could have any type of sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of the thing. It's most people who are demi-romantic typically can also be demisexual. So it's they lack the sexual attraction. But it could also be something very different where it's I could have a romantic interest in somebody, but I could have no sexual attraction to them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not going to lie, I think that might actually be a thing for me when I think about that. Where it's romantic attraction and sexual attraction are very distinct in my mind.
Okay. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. Yeah. You could look, you could befriend someone and you'd be damn, I want to date you, but I don't want to have sex with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So in that mind, would you say that, I don't know, you probably wouldn't think about this, but do you think you would be demisexual or asexual?
I don't know, because I have some personal issues that go on there where it's I'm like any normal male, I have the interest in sexual activity.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have a distinct uncomfortability with the actual concept of physical intimacy, where it's I get very locked up and I'm not sure what to do. So I tend to flash back a little bit to my high school years, where there was this girl who wanted to dance with me, and the second like I'm gonna say I did the most asshole move, I ran off. Because here's the thing, it was like I locked up. Like I would have danced with her. I felt very, I don't know, I felt both nervous, uncomfortable, and it was like I just kind of couldn't move and I just needed to get away.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with like sexuality or just my own antisocial personality, where it's like the physical intimacy is a very hard thing for me to give to somebody kind of concept.
Physical intimacy is also something that I struggle with as an arrow. It's something that makes me deeply uncomfortable, especially if there's like romantic gestures that are associated with said action. I don't like kisses. I don't like hand holding. I can do hand holding if it's in a purely platonic manner. Like I go places with my IRL friends who I've known my whole life, and I'll hold hands with them, no problem. Right? Because I know, like, in my brain, there's no romantic. There's nothing romantic in the gesture of me holding my friend's hand as we're walking down the street downtown, where there's creepy people there.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, like. So, and it was something I struggled with while I was dating, right?
Oh my god, my voice cracked.
Your voice crackled. Snappled, crackled, and poppled.
No, I mean it cracked. Like I need to probably drink some water.
Yeah, go drink some water.
Oh hey, sorry, I probably shouldn't say this in the middle of the podcast, but I just saw Aiden was live.
Yeah, he's been live for a while.
I just got the notification. Twitch is weird.
Yeah. I got it because I'm in his Discord.
Every streamer has a Discord.
Yeah, it's how to build your community, you know?
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, you ever feel like it's gonna eventually get to a dangerous point where you have so many people in the Discord you can't keep track, and people are like breaking your rules left and right, and you haven't been able to notice because the chat moves so fast?
Yeah.
I think if that ever happens, I would have to close the Discord I have and just open one where it's like, okay, you only get YouTube and Twitch announcements. That's it.
Well, I know with PokeRogue, they had to like close down all the channels and just purge a lot of shit that happened when the ex-developer left.
And we moved off topic.
Yeah, we
knew
did.
It would happen. We knew it would happen.
But yeah, so when I was dating, I went through like three boyfriends in high school. 2 were very short term and 1 was very long term. But the 2 very short term ones ended because I could not bring myself to be physically intimate.
That's valid.
And I was also like not really emotionally there as well, like.
Yeah.
Because like the way that I was viewing it, it was just like, oh, we're just buds.
It was more like hanging out with like friends rather than like having a significant other or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, so for me, I guess like growing up, I felt that I had to have a romantic partner because, you know, that's what romance in media kind of like tells you that you have to do. You have to have a romantic partner. You have to get married.
All the movies where it's like you have your high school sweetheart and then you get married the year before or after graduation.
Yeah. So because like romance in media is good in a sense until it's really
pressuring.
It's also very pressuring, especially to people like me in the LGBTs that don't really know what's going on inside of our heads. We're still trying to figure ourselves out, and we're really pushing ourselves into uncomfortable situations that we really don't need to be in, but we are because the media has really pressured us to be there, you know?
It's one of those things where it's like, I have often wondered, it's like, why do people compare themselves to people who are in like movies and stuff? And then it's like, now as an adult, I've sat and realized it's because movies are the same part of everyday life that everything else we do is. And in a way, those movies, for a lot of people, set a standard for success, if you will, which is crazy. And it's like, no, this is like, for many people, this is like the most perfect stepping stone, instant. Like, this would basically be the world perfectionized. Like, if you could have everything in the world, yeah, you would find out your identity while you're still in high school. You would be ready to go by the time it's all over. And it's like, that's just not how it ends up working out. It's a very perfectionized version, very much the wishful thinking of how people wish their lives could be. Because let's face it, a lot of people don't know what they're doing with their lives. Even by the time they're 50, some people still haven't figured it out. They just settle down and be like, all right, I'm okay with doing this for a while.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem with just media in general. That it sets really high expectations for especially younger audiences who are still, like, their brains are still developing, and
they're still developing, they're still learning about themselves.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's especially harder on, you know, like the LGBTs, people of color, stuff like that, because they're just not represented enough in media, and when they are represented, it's in a negative light.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go with that, but
I don't know. I think the original purpose of us getting into this topic was you wanted to talk about how represented you felt, or at the very least, like, how you feel about aromantic being in media.
Well, there's not real nobody really talks about aromantics in media, right? Like,
yeah,
if there's an aromantic in media, then odds are they probably get with someone at the end of the story. Because people aren't allowed to just exist as they are. Again, I haven't. If anyone knows about a story with an aromantic protagonist, would be good.
At the very least, if they didn't end up with somebody, being aromantic was probably not obvious to people, and at the very least, it's insinuated that you'll have like maybe a snapshot of two characters who like seem like they're really close, and you're like, oh, they must have gotten together or something.
Yeah,
but they don't tell you.
And that's another point. It's we're gonna talk about shipping.
Ooh boy.
You and I both have a lot on this topic.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with shipping.
No. But we'll say that when we get into full discussion of the shipping.
I don't think there's anything wrong with shipping. I do think there is such a thing as taking it too far.
Yep.
I'm not gonna stop you from shipping whatever you want, but the second you go online and harass people for not shipping the same thing that you do is kind of yikes.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
So sorry, I guess I was gonna talk about, like, over the week, because as we were thinking about it, I was like, I said last week when I was doing the Genshin thing, and you first brought up this topic, I started thinking about, because I know I said I feel like demi-romantics are very easily represented because a lot of romance films are usually friends to lovers trope. And then I kind of sat down and thought about that. I was like,
yeah, if it's either friends to lovers or love at first sight, that kind of thing.
Yeah. The love at first sight obviously doesn't include. But then I really started thinking about it. It's like, it feels more like, I don't know. it feels so much like it's more like, okay, we went from strangers to friends to lovers, and in such a rapid pace where really it feels like most friends to lovers trope really actually falls into the line of love at first sight rather than anything else. It kind of feels like there's always subtle romantic interest, and it's more like there was already love there before we progressed into the film.
Yeah.
And then it just grew. So
it's because like films are limited to like 90
minutes.
So
it's very rushed.
Oh, they have to rush the relationship or else like it doesn't happen, right? And again, that gives us a sense of pressure as young adolescents to find a partner immediately.
Because media makes it feel like it's so easy.
Yeah. Media makes it feel like it's easy and makes us feel pressured to do it.
It never shows that relationships are very difficult.
And messy.
Yep. Especially if, like, say you and your partner don't understand each other's limitations, or you're not communicating, or there's a lot of stuff that is not covered in films because they want to show happy endings.
They want to show the honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not that, then it's definitely the toxic romantic relationships that they're portraying as not toxic.
Sorry, I immediately thought of a show, and I'm like, you know which one I was thinking of.
Go ahead.
No, you know which one I was thinking of.
Was it MLB?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Because it's like, oof.
I haven't seen these movies myself, but I have watched a lot of reviews.
I've got to make you watch it with me.
Oh God. I have watched a lot of reviews on the books and the movies. For
there are books?
The After series.
Oh.
And Shades.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them myself. I haven't read them myself. God, why would I ever do that?
I mean, also to be fair, like anyone who's seen the Twilight movies, those are also very toxic.
Yeah, that also leads into your point of discussion about love triangles that you wanted to do.
You want to segue? Because I feel like we've discussed a lot.
I feel like toxic relationships and love triangles go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start us off and say that most love triangles aren't triangles at all. They're V's, the shape of a V, where it's two men and one girl, and they're both, like going after the one girl.
Yep.
If it was a triangle, it would be the guy going after the girl going after the other guy, and then the other guy going after the first guy. That would be a triangle.
I mean, it would be more like, because we need to have equal representation here, character A into character B into character C, who is into character A.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's what I was referring to there.
Yeah.
So most love triangles, quote unquote, aren't even triangles.
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
V's.
annoying that we keep calling them that.
Mm-hmm. It's like you either call them a V or you just it's really more like, I don't know. It's like, I guess V just makes more sense because it's like calling it anything else is weird. But it feels more like a double-sided line. You just have one person in the middle and then the two on the left and the right.
Yeah. It's very quite annoying because it's always the woman in the middle.
Yep. Like, come on. I think that's because, for one thing, and this is not a comment against you, it's like, it's just very popular, or like, where it's like most women are like, I would love it if two guys fought over me. But if you see two men
like
fight over...
women,
Or sorry, no, two women fight over a boy. It's like, oh my God, no women would do this. That's a lie.
So the thing is that, like, sure, in fantasy, in theory, two men fighting over one woman is cool and all. But if that ever happened in real life, I'm 100% sure the woman would be terrified.
Yep.
And just fucking run.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone.
Well, you guys know Star's reaction if she ever saw two men fighting over. Honestly,
No,
Star would just be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Look, I'm speaking with complete confidence here. I am like sure that 90% of women would just fucking run.
Mm-hmm. Unless she just like had no self-confidence, and this just really boosted her ego.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the reasons that love triangles are primarily two men fighting over a girl is because there is very much a kind of dissatisfied edge where it's like, okay, you see two women fighting over a guy, it just kind of feels kind of desperate. Again, it's more of a social thing than it is anything else. It's not like neither one of these are okay. It's like if I see two guys fighting over one girl, I'm gonna be like, dudes, like, is there really a point to this? Like, one of you could easily just go find yourself another girl.
No, it has to be that exact woman.
Why?
That woman. Have you seen that woman? She is so boring and generic. I have to have her.
Why?
I think it's more about control than anything else.
Yeah.
No offense to men, but actually full offense to men. But I think
we deserve it.
I think most of the time when there's like a trope.
Hey, heavy
like
robot.
A trope like the fucking love V.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly about controlling the women. And it's not even in media, but that's for another day. We'll save that topic for another time. I have a lot to say on that one.
So my thing about love triangles, and Star has heard me rant about love triangles several times. This is definitely 100% my topic that I'm bringing to the table. I can't stand them. I think that in terms of media, they are one of the most useless ways of creating drama to ever exist.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like,
wholeheartedly.
I can, like, okay. Let me put it like this. So most people are like, oh, but like if the book is already filled with the will they, won't they aspect of the relationship, that's enough drama right there. Because here's the thing, we already know that these two characters are in the game. And I'm going to use Twilight as my example here because I don't think there's anybody who was alive during the era doesn't remember the Team Edward, Team Jacob stuff that was going on. Star was ready for this because I can never talk about love triangles without talking about Twilight. Now I just gotta hope her mom isn't listening in on me.
Don't worry, I have my door closed.
Okay.
She's on the phone with someone else.
Okay. In any case, I never understood the divide that existed there because it's like, even as somebody who was not a fan of the series, because I felt Twilight was extremely dry, could not get beyond the first chapter, but I watched the movies with my mom. I can admit this. I tried to read the books.
I also watched the movies with my mom,
and it's
but
like
on my own accord.
If you look at the sheer obsession that Bella and Edward have for each other, Jacob never stood a chance.
Yeah, he definitely thought he did, and he came off really incel-y.
Yeah, and it's like
that one time that he forced her to kiss him, like, that's a yikes.
And then you have people being like, no, it's so obvious that there is tension. It's like, yeah, there's obviously tension there.
We already had tension with the whole, like, vampire war that was happening in the same book.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you could see that, yeah, there's romantic tension or sexual tension. And it's like, yeah, that's because people aren't really able to close off from it. Where it's like, yes, I'm like, let's say I'm in a romantic relationship. I'm in love with this one person. That doesn't mean I'm blind to the fact that other women are sexually attractive. That happens. Like, you can't just shut off those parts of your brain. Like, seriously, my sisters, all married. That doesn't mean like when they see, and I do not understand this, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they will all go, ooh.
Really?
I'm like,
Dwayne?
I don't get it. I think he's too muscly.
Yeah.
I'm like, from an objective standpoint, I'm like, I don't find a shit ton of muscle to be attractive.
Especially when it's
which is funny because I'm like, oh, muscle woman?
Oh yeah, women with muscles. You want to know why? Because it's not like stereotyped by media.
Yeah.
When you
It's
see a
like it's
woman
new.
with
It's fresh
muscles,
taste.
when you see a woman with muscles who could bench press you, it's like, oh yes, please. I would love you to do that.
Yeah, exactly. But
But like, and the thing is with muscles in men, especially in media, is that
we summoned
those
Fallen Sky.
we did summon fallen by mentioning women with muscles.
Yes, we did.
Um, uh, that most of the muscles you see on the big screen actually aren't like practical at all and are actually like very unhealthy and probably
Steroids.
killing the actor. Yeah. Like I believe they have to dehydrate the actor to get their muscles to look like
Oh
that.
yeah, absolutely.
And it's horrible.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Like watch any natural fitness YouTubers and you can really see the difference between them and people who use steroids regularly. And there have been several Hollywood actors that have said straight out that they've had to take steroids in order to have muscles for parts that they play.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have any choice. They'll go in and they're scrawny and now they have to work.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And then basically what you see for Hollywood films and having the muscles during those scenes, that is the same kind of stuff where it's like modeling photos, but now they have to do that and still be able to move around like they're running for their lives kind of thing on set. It's insane.
Yeah, like actors are something else, man.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like
how we have to stigmatize actors like that.
That's why I'm like, I'd rather just stick to voice acting if I ever became an actor. Purely because then it's like I don't have to worry about shit like that.
I would stick to being a voice actor, but that's just because I don't want
to have my face on the big screen.
Yeah, I don't.
I'd be like, oh, that'd be so awkward.
It's enough that I show my face on camera every day for stream. I'm not putting my face on the big fucking screen. No way, sir.
Yep, exactly. But yeah. What was I talking about earlier? Love triangles.
Love triangles.
I ended off with talking about... oh my god. We lost track so quickly.
We did. I actually,
I know we talked
thought about something. You asked what I thought about aromantic characters in media.
Yeah.
And I actually thought of an example. Character was never like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Confirmed?
Character was never confirmed to be aromantic, but the way that she like acts in the show, it's like she's 100% aromantic. Like there's no way that isn't what they were going for. And the show I'm thinking of here is Romantic Killer. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking great.
I have not seen it.
I loved every second of that show, and I loved it so much I had to watch it twice.
That's fair. That is fair.
And you know it's good if I have to watch it twice, you know?
Yeah,
like...
but it's apparently not Spy Family, which is the watch 10 times.
Spy Family has been like watch 100 times, okay? Like, don't even...
Oh,
Hi,
man.
Monty. Oh my god, Monty's out. He's drinking water. Okay,
Hey,
I'm
Monty!
sorry. I got distracted by my snake. Oh my god, hi!
Oh, now I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about why I thought love triangles were pointless tension, and it is because for the most part, anytime a love triangle is introduced, it's while the relationship is pretty much already determined to be in game. Like, it is so obvious that these are the characters that are going to be in game that, honestly speaking, all of us as viewers, when the other character gets dumped, it's not a surprise, but everyone acts so damn heartbroken because they're like, hold on, how did this happen? It's like, because apparently you didn't know how to pay attention to the fact something was very much in game. Again, the Edward and Jacob,
That's like if I, out of my ass, started making Dante interested in Kage, and then she like rejects him, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm sad now." Like, like yeah, like that was ever gonna happen.
I could make a joke that I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it.
Are you watching FT now twice star? Dude, I've seen it like 15 times. What do you mean?
But I guess.
But that doesn't mean it's good. It was good when I watched it, but it's not good now.
If someone tries to argue that in the end, it's like, oh, well, Edward and Jacob provided tension for the story. There was I don't know if people forgot this, but Bella was being hunted by another vampire who was creating an army of newborns to go after her.
That Jacob and Edward should have gotten together.
Yeah, they just completely dumped Bella. Oh, man.
I think that would have made for a far more interesting story.
Probably. And it's like, I could easily go into like my feelings of Miraculous Ladybug, because that one's not even a love triangle, that is a love decagon.
Oh god.
Because you had Marinette, who was into Adrian, who was into Ladybug, who was Marinette. But then there was the whole thing where Marinette eventually ended up in getting like showing interest in Cat Noir, who is also Adrian. But then you had the inclusion of two other characters, Luca and Kagami, and it was like, bleh, what is all this? It was the most convoluted amount of stuff.
I haven't seen it, but it's on my to watch list because apparently it's bad. What?
Wait, you only watched the first two Twilight movies? Do you mean like neophyte vampires or literal newborns? No, they like newly turned vampires.
Yeah, that is what I responded with.
Yeah.
Newly turned.
It's just like, it's so weird because it's like, and then there was also, Edward and Bella already had a tenseness as well, because Bella obviously wanted to become a vampire, but Edward didn't want to turn her because he felt that being a vampire damned your soul.
I believe either one.
So it's like, there was already tension.
Twilight, I think, was very predictable from the get-go.
Yeah.
We knew they were gonna get together. We knew he was gonna turn her eventually.
Yep.
That was all like predictable.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect the fucking CGI baby though. Like.
Oh my god.
Nobody expects the CGI baby.
I can't talk about the baby. Because then we got to talk about Jacob, and I'm like, Can
I say her name real quick, please?
Yes.
Renesmee.
It's not the worst name.
It's so dumb.
I like the spirit of it.
Renesmee.
I like the spirit of it, named after both of her grandmothers.
Renesmee.
Heavy Robot, if you have not watched Twilight by this point, there is no way you're watching it.
Okay, if you haven't watched Twilight, thank fucking Christ.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
At least you have that going for you.
Ugh.
Like, honestly, who the hell wants to watch Twilight in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024? Go watch something better.
I can't mention the baby without like thinking of the fact that Jacob.
Oh, God.
And it's like. No.
Listen, I have arguments with my mom about imprinting, okay? Like, it's so bad.
It is really, really bad.
It's really bad.
Because
she's no, it means that he's gonna be her friend. I'm like, no, Mom, he's going to groom her.
Let me go ahead and put it like this.
Stephanie Meyer, what were you thinking?
The thing about imprinting is basically it turns every single one of the wolves into a submissive bitch.
What about that guy who like tore apart his imprintee's face?
So in that particular situation, that one was technically an accident. He had lost
It was an accident, but he still did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Imprint or not, I'd still fucking leave and file a restraining order.
She should have.
She should have.
I don't remember the full story of that one. All I remember is that he was newly turned and he lost control of his transformation.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
So it's like, that one actually kind of was an accident, but it's still like, Although if I suddenly saw my lover turn into a giant wolf, I'd probably be like, can I go the other direction?
I would give him a big pap. Cause like, wolf boyfriend sounds cool, like giant dog.
Until you gotta clean all the shedded fur.
That is also true. They're shedding, they're going outside. Get the fuck out of my house, you big
I'm
fur
reminded
ball.
of that. I'm reminded of that scene from the Descendants movie where you have the daughter of Maleficent and the son of Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and she's like, does your dad shed much? And he goes, yeah, mom doesn't let him on the couch. I'm like, that's good amazing.
Shit. Good shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, like I say that the whole like fucking mauling your significant other's face off that isn't grounds for just fucking leaving and file a restraining order, but in the first chapter of my book I have literally the exact same thing.
Oh damn.
Damn, I'm such a hypocrite.
Hey, for all we know, Damon is the one who got his face clawed off, right?
Yeah, he did.
Sometimes I get confused just because it's Damon and Dante, so...
It wasn't even like all of his face. He just has like 3 little marks on the top of his hairline.
They're just little boo-boos.
There's just little boo-boos.
And besides, for all we know, maybe he's into the pain.
Please don't say he was... Oh, God!
You knew it was coming.
You said it. I knew it was coming.
You knew it.
Oh, man.
To be fair, that is a joke, guys, because he got the scars when he was young.
Yes, he got them.
Besides,
was young.
Damon's too much of a wuss to be a masochist.
Yeah, he also is too much of a wuss to be a masochist.
Like, let's be real.
Let's be fucking real. He was all, oh man, she fucking attacked me. Actually, that was kind of hot. That's why he came back.
Oh man.
Oh man.
There's another joke that could be made about that scene, but I'm not gonna be the one to make it.
Oh, now I'm curious.
Do you want me to actually make it? Because it's pretty crude.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, do it.
Dante penetrated her first.
Oh!
It's so bad.
Damn, that's where the love triangle comes from.
You know that if your story ever pops off, we're going to find fanfics of Dante
okay.
NTRing his brother. You know it's gonna exist.
That's gonna happen. We also know that they're gonna have fucking fanfics of the brothers fucking doing shit. Like, come on.
Oh my god.
Incest is not wincest, guys. Please do not make my characters fuck each other.
I get flashbacks of supernatural fan fiction because that is 100% a thing, and I don't understand you fuckers who do that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the whole like, ugh.
Oof.
Incest, especially with twins, is very uncomfortable.
Yep.
And I'm only saying that because my characters are twins.
Yep.
And like I read half of Oshinoko, and that was also uncomfortable.
I do feel like it's more a thing where it's like people don't quite understand relationships of guys. We are confusing creatures.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand how the mind of my fellow males work, where it's like our friendships are very close to homoerotic. It's weird because we have no problem it seems like we have a problem where it's like we have this weird thing where it's like, oh yeah, bros, we hug a lot, and people are like, oh, guys are never this close. It's like, no, we do bro hugs all the time.
Bro hugs. I do bro hugs where you take the guys, where you like grab each other's arms and then you pat each other on the back when you go into the hug.
Mm-hmm.
I do that all the time.
It's like, we have no problem hugging, cuddling, which is like, most people are like, is weird. It's like, no, guys cuddle all the time. What we don't like is being caught cuddling with another guy. That's the embarrassing part, because people make a big deal about it, but guys are cuddlers.
Yeah, like, let men cuddle, honestly. I get cuddles from my snake, who's a male. Is that good? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time I hear the story of snakes, I will just always remember this story that my mom read online, and she told me about it because she thought
was it the person whose snake was like sizing them up to eat them?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a very false story. That doesn't happen.
I made a joke about that during one stream. I don't know if you ever heard it.
I might have.
Is that the vet was actually flirting with her by trying to say the owner was a snack. And he just didn't get the message across. I mean, honestly, like, if he was doing that, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so, snakes don't do that.
No.
They won't just go off feed because they're sizing you up. That doesn't happen. Second of all, they won't eat you because they won't be able to get your shoulders down their throat.
I mean, not at the moment. Wait till they're bigger.
Yeah, wait till they're bigger. Yeah, my little 4-foot man will definitely eat someday.
Like the size of the anacondas from the Anaconda movies.
Yeah, because those are accurate.
I love those movies.
Never seen them, but,
because I will always have flashbacks of my sister running out of the room the second she saw it.
Aww, you should show her a picture of my son.
I have had all of my family's members say, because I always said, it's like, oh, I'd like to get a snake, and they said, if you do, we're killing it.
Aww.
I'm like, well, damn. Now I know what to get to keep you guys away from visiting me.
Yeah, my grandma's the same way. Yeah, that's mad.
Oh man.
She's like, never coming to your place, and I'm like, good, don't want you here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, if I don't want visitors, I'll buy the damn snake.
Like, I like having him. He's very nice, and he's very comforting for me.
Mm-hmm.
He helps keep me grounded.
Mm-hmm.
With the pressure that whenever when I'm handling him, I'll put him on my shoulders, and he has a nice grounding. Like, I don't know if you've ever had like a panic attack before, but one of the best things to ground someone is definitely weight. Weight is very nice.
It's like how some people have what's the term? It's like I don't know the term, but it's like having a therapeutic animal. Some people have small dogs, some people have cats.
Yes,
and they just sit and pet them to calm down.
Yes. Whenever I was feeling mad depressed at my old place, I would pull him out and cry.
Damn.
I just have him on my chest while I cry on my bed, and I'm like, yeah, you're the best little snake in the whole world.
Aww.
He's precious.
I still can't believe it took me so long to realize that your snake is a python named Monty.
Yeah.
That took way... that took way longer than it should have for me to realize.
It took me a while too.
I was like, I remember that. I don't remember what I was doing that day, but I remember we started talking. I remember now. 100%. I was playing Pokemon Fire Red or Leaf Green. I don't remember which one. And I caught an Ekans, and we were calling it Monty. And I was like, oh yeah, Star has a python named Monty. Oh. That was...
Do you still have that VOD? I want to see that.
No, I don't. This was like... This was like, I think, a couple months after we actually started talking.
God damn it. That's so good.
It's funny. I wish someone had clipped it.
That's so good, man.
Oh, man.
It was during my my V3 streams, and I was talking about I was telling a story about I went to a pet place by my older brother's apartment, and they had a bunch of snakes there, and I was just talking about how I was looking at all the snakes because they're so fucking adorable, and then Fake sent a message that said, Monty Python, how did I just get that? I am so mad at myself.
Yo, I felt the same way.
It's the best.
It's just like it just doesn't click because it's like when you introduce him, it's just Monty the snake.
No, I'm just like, this is Monty. He's my baby. Like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
and then
like
they'd be like, oh yeah, what kind of snake is he? Oh, he's a ball python.
yeah, it just doesn't click immediately.
And then I just wait. And then they come back to me like 4 days later. They're like, oh, Monty Python, I get it.
Oh, it's funny, but it really makes you feel stupid when it finally clicks.
Yeah.
But man, I do love animals. I'm like, if I ever truly get my own place, because right now I have housemates and everything, and they of course they have a dog. I love Freya. She's such a sweet dog, but she's also a very large dog. Which I don't personally mind big dogs, but it's like at some point it's like I realize if I get my own place, if I have a big dog, I want a yard for them to run around in. But I imagine my first place by myself will probably be an apartment.
Yeah. I grew up with large dogs.
Yeah.
They had a Dalmatian before I was born, but we were actually talking
Dalmatians.
about this. We were actually talking about this yesterday, and this is why I hopped into your stream, and I was like, I'm sad at the thought of my cats dying.
Oh.
Because me and Mom were talking about animals.
And what? Did it start with, if your cats die, can we get a dog?
No. The apartment we live in doesn't allow dogs.
Oh.
It started with, I was doom scrolling through YouTube Shorts, because I do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this short of a child who was like, you know, they were just petting a cat. Like, they were petting a cat, and the cat kind of like nibbled on their hand as like a warning, like, hey, you're bothering me, please back off.
Yeah.
And what the kid did, and it was like a toddler, right? Ended up grabbing the cat's tail and putting it in their mouth. And the cat just kind of like whipped around and grabbed its tail, and I was like, huh, that's an interesting short. And what I do when I'm doom scrolling is sometimes I'll just go and read the comments of the shorts that I'm watching, and people in the comments were like blasting this person because what if the cat wasn't, you know, as nice as it could have been? Right? And it's in that moment where like I realized that, oh shit, that cat definitely could have just attacked that kid. And I had to rewatch the short a couple of times, and I noticed that before the kid went to grab the tail, the cat was meowing. It was very clearly distressed. It was like, and then as soon as it grabbed its tail out of the kid's hand.
Oh yeah, that cat could have clawed that toddler's face off.
And it was like a 2 to 3 year old toddler, right? It grabbed its tail, it got up and walked away. Like, and as a cat owner, I realized that like you do have to respect your animal's boundaries.
Yep.
Like if I walk up to Kiwi and I start petting her and she gets up and walks away, I know that she doesn't want to be pet right now, and I leave her alone. Right?
I mean, to me, that's weird, because my cat just, like, every time I'm out there, she just comes up to me.
Yeah, well, again, it depends on the cat, right?
Yeah,
like Kiwi,
some are very affectionate, some are not.
Kiwi is, like, she's interesting in that, she puts up with a lot of my shit. But if it's anyone else, she'll get grumpy so fast. Like, my brother, my older brother, whenever he would bring his ex's kid over. Well, I can't say ex. I don't know if they're actually broken up. But whenever they would bring the kid over, which was like once every blue moon, and he would walk up to the cat and he would, you know, try to pet her. She got really grumpy around kids. Like, she doesn't like them at all. Like, I would be like, yep, this is Kiwi. She, you know, you can pet her, just don't bother her too much. And, you know, and he would be nice, but he would like slam on their little cat tower, and that would bother them because you know, you're trying to perch and some kid is shaking your tree. Like, what the fuck? And I know her growl. She goes,
uh-oh.
and that's when you know that it's time to back off.
Kiwi says, Admiral Mavis, prepare the air assault.
And I'm like, all right, it's time for you to go. And I'll stand there and I'll pet her and she's just fine.
Yeah.
It's like, and like, we had one of Aiden's childhood friends over one time, and they were petting her, and she got really mad and just started hissing and then just stalked off. It was really weird. It's so out of character for her to just do that. But I guess like she's like me in that she just doesn't like people for like long situations, right?
Yeah.
Like she'll come out, she'll give you a sniff, she'll give you a little rub on the face, and then walk away and go hide somewhere, because you know that's her. Like she wants to be alone. She doesn't want to be out and about and bothered. Then I'm not gonna make her be out and about and bothered, you know? Like,
yeah, that's fair.
we have to respect our animals' boundaries like we respect other people's boundaries, except nobody respects other people's boundaries. So like, how are we gonna respect animals' boundaries? I fucking hate humans.
Yep. And it's
And then,
like, much like people, animals all have different boundaries. So if you're like, oh, well, I have a cat and this cat behaves like this, that doesn't mean like other cats are going to behave like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mentioned my cat. Well, I say my cat, but it's the cat that basically lives around our house. Socks.
Socks.
Very lovable cat. By the way, she's pregnant.
Yes.
So, yay, more kittens, I guess. You can hear the sarcasm. Her siblings are...
I feel like you should take her to a shelter or something like that.
Yeah. Her siblings also are around, and it's like they don't really go near people. If they see someone walk near them, they will basically like kind of run off, duck beneath a car, or go off somewhere else. But she absolutely adores people.
Yeah, and like, Kiwi and Mavis are like polar opposites. Like Mavis is very skittish, and Kiwi has balls of steel.
Do they give you gifts? Do you mean like the dead mice?
Yeah, they're teaching you how to hunt. You know what that is, right? That's them teaching you how to hunt.
Oh wow, is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, I've never had Socks bring me dead things. But to be fair,
okay.
Socks is like just kind of sitting around. She's not moving around much right now.
Mavis has a fear of men, and honestly, I don't blame her.
Fair.
Going by how she grew up in my dad's house. When we moved them over to my mom's place, they were mostly fine. Like Mavis definitely did come out of her shell a lot. But every time our old landlord would come over, she was gone. She was hiding. She does not like men at all.
Fair enough.
I mean, she likes her papa. She loves Aiden because that's her papa.
Yeah.
And she really liked Frank for some reason. Like I don't know, man. Like whenever Frank would come over, both the cats were just on him.
Well, some people are just I don't know, they naturally attract cats.
Mhm.
It's weird.
And like I've always had like a natural attraction. That's not really the right word. Animals have had a natural attraction to me.
Yeah. I think
grew up
saying
with
having a natural attraction to animals is a little.
Yeah, opposite way. I draw animals to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not attracted to animals, please and thank you.
I don't know, it sounded kind of defensive there.
I grew up with 2 medium to large sized dogs. Both were great girls. They're unfortunately dead now.
Aww.
Yeah. We had an American Eskimo. I believe that's what she was.
Well, let's start figures that out.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Very, very fluffy. One time, we had a kid over for a birthday party who saw her out in the backyard and said, "Oh my God, you guys have a wolf!" Never forget that. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of dogs, I Okay, so I think most of my chat knows that I do this, but they may have forgotten. But I am someone who likes to go outside a lot. So I'll go walking up the road, and up the road, my neighbors have this little, I think it's a corgi. Really, really cute little dog.
Oh my god.
And every time I'm on the same side of the road, honestly, if this corgi sees me, it runs to me every single time.
Aww,
and I'm like, oh my god, can you stop running across the road? Like, this little thing trusts me enough that it will run up to me and just like start trying to play, and I'm like, ah,
yeah,
because it's seen me around, because I've basically been around, and it's like, let's get you back over to your owners. It's like, it's a very cute dog.
Yeah,
but it's like, please stop running across the road when there's cars coming.
Yeah, the other dog that I grew up with, who just passed away a couple of years ago, I think. She was a Husky and Labrador mix. She had 2 different colored eyes. One brown, one blue. People thought she was blind in one eye for a long time, but no,
Ooh.
she just had heterochromia. She was just a classy lass with heterochromia who liked to escape the yard and go for a swim at the river at the end of our street. Classy lass. Oh, what a girl she was. But yeah, she lived to the ripe old age of like 10 to 12 years old, I think.
I decided to look up a Husky Lab mix, and I'm like, this looks like a dog that I used to own.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that she would be a Husky and a Black Lab mix because she had beige fur, but she was.
Like, we had this dog that we named Lizzie, and it was just, we never knew what she was, because it was a dog that my sister found on the side of the road. Which, by the way, I fucking hate people who do this, where they just dump
don't
animals.
Dump your dog, please.
I understand
don't
that.
Dump animals in general.
I understand it's like,
if you can't take an animal anymore, like, give it to a shelter, or like find someone close to you who you know can't take it. Like,
here's the thing about shelters where I live. They're usually almost always occupied, where the shelters will refuse animals.
Well, they shouldn't.
They really shouldn't. But it's like, if they're occupied, they don't have any more room for any more animals. And some people just don't want to look up where to find one. They don't want the responsibility, so they just leave their dogs on the side of the road. So my sister, she constantly finds these animals, and she'll bring them to either my parents or to me and ask us like, hey, do you want them? And I'm like, look, I'm like, I can't afford to take care of an animal. I love animals, and if I could afford to take care of it, I would say yes in a heartbeat. Because it's like, I get onto my parents for saying yes, because it's like, you struggle with finances, so it's like taking care of an animal, that's going to be another stress on you. And my thing is that I have the same issue as my parents do, in that I love animals, and when I see, especially if you show me a puppy, I'm gonna fall in love with it. I think a very good example is Socks, especially. Like, I know that that's a cat. But
what a nice puppy you have.
Well, yeah. But see, the cat actually came from my sister, who apparently she had enough kittens, and she knew nobody was gonna really take care of them.
Speaking of puppies,
she did that thing.
Cat.
So as much as I hate to like throw shade here, it's like she did drop him off at like a church.
Yeah.
Where it's like they do have a habit of, like, if you leave it at the church, the church will try to take them to some place. But the cats left the church area.
Oh my god! I think instead
and then they came to my house.
I think trying to dump them off at like a church is not a good idea. Maybe you ought to like put up an ad in like your local area, like, hey, free kittens, does anyone want for a loving home, like, does anyone
that would absolutely be a much better idea.
Like,
but the kittens didn't stay at the church. They found their way to my house.
Yeah, it seems that you have a really bad stray problem in your area.
Yeah, we really do.
I don't see strays ever. It's crazy. Like my old neighborhood, like on my dad's street, had a lot of outdoor cats. I one of my childhood friends had this cat. Her name was Kit Kat. She was
Oh, Kit Kat.
She was an outdoor cat. I've known her my whole life, right?
Yeah.
They had her like for a long time, and recently, like whenever I would walk over to my dad's house back when I still lived 2 blocks away, I would see her all the time laying in the same patch of grass, and she was old, and she would come up to me, and I'd be like, "Oh, hi, sweetie." I give her pats, give her love because she deserves it. You know, every animal deserves love. And the last time I was over there, she was gone, so I think she has also passed on.
Aw. We got so off topic.
We did. I wanted to talk about this parrot that I had.
But I mean, hey, loving animals, you know what?
You know what? We're gonna relate it back to our original topic. I promise.
This is an excellent discussion of romance and fiction. I mean, do you know how many like animal like relationships between like animals and people? Not those kinds of relationships, but like just watching a genuine bond between person and their pet is like one of the most wholesome things in any media.
It's one of the most beautiful things you can see, really.
Old Yeller.
I've actually never seen Old Yeller.
No!
I've never seen
There is no way you have not seen Old Yeller.
I have never seen Old Yeller.
That is blasphemous.
I am so sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Star. I'm sorry. Do you at least know the story of it? Do you at least know the story of it? Oh, Nick Advent. Is this just one of those things where it's like, it's because I'm old?
Maybe.
Because, I mean, the movie was old even when I was a kid, so...
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I watched whatever my dad put on, and that was just A Bug's Life most of the time.
Yeller, movie release. When was this?
It was like 67, I think. I just looked it up, but I already forgot.
1957, so it
57.
was
I was
40 years old by the time I was born.
Damn.
I watched it because, you know, because my mom had it, and...
Did you watch it on VHS?
Yes, actually.
Let's fucking go! Dude, VHS is a marvel of technology. Let's bring it back.
I think the vast majority of the movies I watched as a kid were all on VHS. Like, I remember watching The Lion King.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Pretty much most of the movies, just all VHS. I think we didn't even get a DVD player until finally it was like they just stopped producing VHS tapes.
Yeah. My dad.
And even then, it was like a few years after DVD was the sole way to get films.
My dad worked at a video store, so of course we had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a good time to. Oh wait.
I had a parrot growing up.
I hate those little bastards.
Yeah, everyone seems to hate birds. My mom
I love
doesn't
birds.
like
I hate parrots.
Oh, okay. My mom doesn't like birds, and Aiden has a fear of birds. So,
my parents used to have a parakeet.
we had a conure, a green cheek conure. Her name was Taylor, and I loved her a lot. She would sit on my shoulder, and I'd give her neck scratchies.
And there's the reason I hate those little bastards.
Well, you don't like neck scratchies?
No, the shoulder.
Oh, the shoulder. What do you mean?
Okay, so when I was like 12 or 13, I was hanging out with my big brother, and he was at his boss's place because he was dating his boss's daughter.
Okay.
And they put the parrot, because they owned a parrot, and they put it on my shoulder, and that thing dug its claws into my shoulder, and it was purple.
Ooh,
so
yeah,
I'm like,
that was good.
That kind of ruined it. I don't really hate parrots, but I'm like, I do not want one on my shoulder.
Well, you just gotta clip their nails then, just like cats.
Mm. Wait, I'm supposed to clip a cat's nails?
Well, if they live in your house, yes.
Well, none of them live in my house.
We have to clip ours because, like, I pick up Kiwi all the time, and her nails are sharp.
I don't really have that problem with socks. Like.
Well, you shouldn't be picking her up right now, anyways.
I mean, even when I did pick her up, like I used to hold her all the time, and she just kind of sat. So even when she used her claws, I never felt them dig into my skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
It was.
But yeah, so this parrot would bite and nip at everyone else except for me and my dad. She would sit on my dad's shoulder while we're eating breakfast, and he would feed her eggs.
Your dad is a pirate.
And also, like, she would drink out of his glass of orange juice. Honestly, so cute. I miss her a lot.
Is that safe?
I don't know.
It's just one of those things where it's like, that's...
Well, you think my dad knows anything about how to take care of an animal? No.
I don't know. I've never bothered to ask. I'm like, whenever I have an animal, I am like paranoid about what I allow that animal to eat.
Yeah, well, my dad is a puppy kicker, so he doesn't know how to take care of an animal at all.
Where's my shotgun?
Yeah.
I'm from the South. We all have guns. This is not at all.
It saddens me to know that I'm related to a puppy kicker, despite being an animal lover.
Damn.
Like, hello? I also don't like his dogs.
Just so we know, that is a stereotype that is not at all true. Not everyone in the South has a gun.
I don't have a gun because I'm Canadian.
Yes, and she's very apologetic about it. Like... I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'd probably be able to get a gun, but only after, like, hours of, like, gun safety training or something like that.
Yeah.
Because we do, I do believe we have at least some kind of gun control laws.
Yeah, you don't even need training. You can just go to Walmart and buy one.
I think even then, it's like, you need to have some kind of official licensing to buy one.
Yeah, that's what we have.
But then it's like, that's where you need the training and stuff, is to get the license.
And when transferring or when transporting the firearm, you need to have the firearm and the ammo in separate parts of the car.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's our gun laws.
I don't know if we have those, but then it's like
you need to have a gun license.
But like here's kind of the thing, and this is probably where people are gonna be like, well, this is why we have all the safety. It's like, look, all it takes is somebody to stop a car, go to where the ammo is, load the gun, boom. That is a dangerous weapon, no matter what. Like, no amount of gun control law is gonna stop that. I think literally, if you wanted to stop it, you would say you cannot have a gun and ammo in the car at the same time.
Yeah, well, then what? You've just got, like, an empty gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like...
So you can stop someone with a gun, and if there's ammo in it, boom. You know that they were planning to use it.
Yeah, so that's why, like, when we're, like, I don't have a gun, right? But, like, when you're transporting a firearm, it's like you have the firearm in the trunk and the ammo, like, in the glove box. And usually, like, you're going to a firing range or you're going out hunting, something like that.
Yeah.
I would say we probably don't buy guns to kill people, but fuck if I know, man.
I mean, I'll say this now. It's like a lot of people in America don't necessarily buy guns to kill people.
Okay, then why do they buy guns?
Well, we do have a lot of notable hunters who do enjoy hunting actual animals, just so everybody's clear. But then we also have the problem of people who buy guns because they don't feel safe, because some communities are bad. Like, they have regular gun violence, and then you have the increase in gun violence, which then increases people's fear, and so they go and buy a gun. And unfortunately, that increases the problem of gun violence because more and more people have access to it, because more and more people are afraid of the other people with guns.
Yeah, but if nobody had access to guns, there wouldn't be a problem.
I wouldn't say there wouldn't be a problem. I would say people would get more creative.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, let's take a look at, like, probably a primary example of this is the UK with very strict gun control where you literally cannot get a gun. They have higher knife violence, I believe.
Yeah.
So, obviously, that is a decrease in casualties, so that's good.
We've definitely gone far off of our original topic, Rico.
Yeah.
We went from romance in media to animals.
But then it's also like, the sad part is that when you realize there are just internet instructions on how to build certain devices that could really, like, mess people up.
Yeah.
And that's regularly available knowledge to a lot of people. It's very absurd. So it's like when we start talking about how can we increase safety, it's like the reality of it is that the reason this form of violence exists is not even just because people have guns. There's a lot of outlying factors when you really get into it. It's the same, like, for example, a lot of people who...
I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't live in the US, so
yeah.
I don't really know a lot of the factors that go into gun violence in the US.
One, it's usually instability. This is a factor, and a lot of the facts that and people don't understand this is that when people buy guns, they might be mentally okay. Everything in their life is okay, but they might hit a moment where they are now in a series of depression, and now they're like, I got nothing left to lose. Other people, it's poverty. You know, money is very tight. They need more money for their families, and they've really hit, like, the end of where they can go, so they turn to lives of crime. So it's like there are so many factors that come into gun violence that it's like penning it all and saying is like, hey, if I get rid of the guns, would this make everything better? And the answer is yes, actually, because we would have less casualties. No, I'm just saying, it's like, I'm not saying the guns...
in the end, my original statement still holds true. Just get rid of all the guns.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, that was a nice discussion on gun
control. Let's go talking about something a little more lighthearted, please. Like, I'm very much, before someone comes at me this and say, you're from the South and you can say all this shit, it's like, it's because I'm from the South, where it's like, I'm okay with people having guns. I'm not okay with gun violence. Like that, like, I'm okay with people having guns for the purpose of hunting, but I would like it if you kept those locked up at like a hunting shed or something, where you didn't have regular access to them. Where, like, you could just pull one out and go after people. That is a little scary.
So, romance in media.
Yeah, romance in media. Star, we're gonna segue like to your topic of shipping.
Romance in media is like gun control.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, let's talk shipping.
Wait, did I rant enough about love triangles, about how much I fucking hated them? I don't know if I did.
Know, did you?
I think I got into it where it's like, let me see.
Eating cereal. I agree.
I think I did because I basically said they are useless pieces of drama when the story has more than enough drama in it, especially if you already have a different background. Where in the case of Twilight, they had the war with the vampires. They had organizations that are like, oh no, Edward and Bella can't really be together. It's like, that had enough drama that we didn't need a third person included in their weird ass relationship.
Yeah.
And most other stories that I have read are a lot like this, where it's like love triangles feel so pointless because like, what is the actual purpose of it? I feel like if we were gonna say, how do we make an actual love triangle and how do we make it good, you need to set up the love triangle practically from the beginning, or you need to make it look like there is actual possibility for the character to change ships. And that's the hard part if you're going to say, like, if you are going to make one relationship in-game, that's very hard, but...
It's like if they added an extra, like, a random fucking guy in season 2 of Kaguya-sama, and they were like, yeah, this guy definitely has a chance. Wink.
Yeah.
And then the entire season was like,
the guy just getting ignored.
Yeah, was basically just the guy getting ignored, and then people still being like, oh no, it could still happen, and then season 3 just plays out exactly like it was supposed to.
Basically speaking, is like, if they are still using Kaguya-sama as the example, if they then added random character and Kaguya is actually starting to be receptive to the advances to a point where it's like, it actually seems like she's no longer obsessing over his name is Shirogane, right? Shirogane. Shirogane, okay. Basically speaking, if he no longer consumes her thoughts to where she is able to act as she normally does without always being obsessed with what he's doing, then that is the point where you can say, this is a possible ship now.
Yeah.
This is the problem with most other love triangles, is that you have the main character that is the formation, the base of the triangle, the main love interest, and they are still obsessed with character A. And so character C isn't really adding anything except being like, man, I'm gonna feel bad for this guy, when the girl is like, yeah, we're not a thing, dude. Just leave me the fuck alone.
All it really does is just add a random incel to the plot.
Yep. But now I'm like, I kind of want to read a fan fiction where someone does this.
What, adds a random nobody to Kaguya-sama?
Yes, and you know there is one. It's probably a self-insert.
I haven't seen like a lot of fucking. You'd think there'd be a lot of Kaguya fanfic, but there isn't.
Wow, so people like, that's surprising, because it means people are satisfied with the writing of Kaguya-sama.
Yeah, like,
I find that most fan fiction is usually like, we either want to explore something with a story, or there are portions of the story where we're like, oh, I don't like this, so we rewrite it. Fairy Tail has a lot of fan fiction.
There's like not a lot of fanfic of Kaguya-sama on AO3 that I saw.
Now I'm curious. Give me a second. I'm pulling this up on FFN.
Oh god, he's looking at FFN.
I use AO3 and FFN.
I go to FFN when I'm desperate.
Yeah. Like, what I tend to find is that people kind of use a bit of both. I have some writers on AO3 who also use FFN.
Cross-posting,
so it's like,
right?
I might have found them here, and then I finally realized, oh, hey, they have it on the other one, and then I switch over there.
Yeah.
But in some cases, it just doesn't happen. All right, Kaguya-sama. Wow, really? Only 117?
Only 117. Oh
yeah.
my god. Let me check AO3.
That's pretty small, if you want to get down to it.
Yeah, only 117. Holy moly. God.
Like, given how, I guess it's because Kaguya-sama is very niche, so it's like, it does seem popular when you're watching it.
Kaguya-sama anime has 298. Kaguya-sama manga has 340.
So about 500 or 600.
Yeah, and they're probably under like the same tag too. So like.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones writers do that too, where it's like they have A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, and then there's the all related media thing.
Yeah.
Which really gets annoying when I want to read crossovers, because since it has three fandoms, it's like it's all considered crossovers.
There's not a lot of Kaguya fics out there, which sucks.
Damn.
Because I fucking love that show, man.
The thing that surprises me is that there's not a lot of reaction fics for it. I would figure people would go ham with it just because it's so easy to do it.
They're like 10 years down the line, and then they're like, let's go react to how we were in our fucking teens. Oh, that's gonna be cringe.
I love the ones where it's like, it summons their folks. So it's I know of some characters that I haven't actually been introduced to. And I'm like, oh, I'm spoiled.
Oh, man. Why are you spoiling yourself?
Because I was curious.
Oh, Fox, no.
And it's funny watching these two, like, their parents watching what goes on in their head during all of these situations, and I'm like, this is like my worst nightmare as a teenager.
Okay, but like the worst part is that you don't know how great of a character Papa Shirogane is, okay? Like, you don't know.
You're right, I don't. Oh, man. But it is just kind of... I love React Fics. They're so interesting. Alright, so Tamaku, what are you sending me? How to finish your fix. Oh, that's so mean, but it is so accurate. I'm gonna put it up on this stream, I think. Let's see. Window capture. Boom. That is so true. That is so true and so mean.
My mom just came in and she was like, hey, is this okay for dinner? And I'm just like, you know, nodding. And she's trying to talk to me and I'm like, Mom, please.
Just answer your mother. Just answer.
She came in and she insulted me. She was like, damn, you stink.
Ouch.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, I was like, I wish I could make Discord to where it's like I don't even get the red numbers because it's just like annoying.
The red numbers are very annoying.
It's like only show it when I go into the channel. That would be better. Or at the very least, if you're gonna show me the numbers, make it to where I can fast travel to wherever the number actually is. Because it's like then I have to go hunt down the message, and sometimes it's been a full day since I got it, and so I gotta look even more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so...
I look at Discord like immediately. I'm like, I want this shit gone.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I don't notice it. That in this case, I didn't notice it before, and I was like, well, what is this? Like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. So if this was given an hour ago, this is from a streamer that just went live.
Yeah, I still had your DM from before the stream and also your stream notification. I still had those.
Okay. So, we're moving on to the next topic, guys. This is Star's topic. She wanted to talk about shipping.
What to say about shipping?
That it is the most toxic thing in existence.
It can be.
Oh,
I agree
it
that
is.
it can. I agree that it can be toxic, but at the same time, I like shipping.
My favorite ship is the Titanic.
Dude, that movie gave me nightmares.
Oh man. Star never went on a boat after watching Titanic.
I never did, no. I've only been on like small boats that you take out on the lake. I've never been on like a cruise or anything.
Fair.
No way. No way in hell. I don't know. Like, despite being an arrow, I enjoy the prospect of seeing other people being happy and in healthy relationships.
What's a healthy relationship?
Ain't that the question? I think it's because I came from a really broken home in my early teens, and that really skewered my view of... I wouldn't say skewered my view of romance. I mean, my dad was just an asshole.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would always find comfort in seeing two characters, you know, being happy and falling in love and stuff and doing stuff that I myself personally just can't do. Doesn't mean that I don't enjoy watching or reading about it.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't speak for everyone, right? Like everyone's different. You can not like fanfic but enjoy smooching other people. Like, go off. Go off. I'm not gonna stop
Okay, that
you.
is an interesting collection of things. You're like, oh yeah, you can not like fanfics, but you know, you could have a social life.
Exactly. Go have a social life, queen.
Man.
You deserve it.
I think it's like a lot of it falls into the thing with fics is that people obviously have their preferred couples, and people will devise their head canons and stuff. Where it's like, I'm fine with that as long as you don't push it onto me. Where it's like, you say it's like, if I don't accept your ship, that I am like that I'm an idiot or something. If you don't start insulting me, then I have no beef with you.
I'm sorry, Sataniku says my favorite fictional ship is Chapter 9 and Getting It Done.
That's fair.
Honestly, me too, buddy.
My favorite one is Fox in Chapter 10, because for some reason that exists.
Yeah, you really like Chapter 10 for some reason.
It's the best chapter. I think in my defense, it's more like, I feel like if you can get to Chapter 10, the rest of it feels so much easier, because it's like, I watch so many people who don't even make it to like Chapter 6 of a story.
Yeah.
And like, they'll have good motivation at the beginning.
I was thinking we could save this topic for next week, actually.
Yeah. What, the working on like how to work on writing and like where authors lose motivation?
Just the writing part of writers and weebs.
Oh, fair enough. Okay then. So back to shipping. As long as you don't force the ship on me, I think that's fine.
And I've never had this happen to me, but like death threats if people don't ship your ship is kind of yikes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had it happen to me, but I've had it happen to people who happen to have the same ship as me, and it makes me very nervous to share some of my personal comfort ships.
It's okay, Star. At least you're not a Natsu Lucy shipper. I am just joking with you. I
want you to know that if I ever meet you in real life, I'm gonna kick you so hard in the kneecaps.
For what?
For that.
Oh, man. You don't even like Fairy Tail anymore, so I feel like the joke is still somewhat safe.
No, I don't. But
But you used to be.
No, the problem is that the last time that I watched it, and this was after I stopped liking it, Aiden and I were watching it together. I think Frank was also watching it with us. I did end up feeling some of my fangirl tendencies from back when. Good times.
But yeah, for the record, everybody, Star used to be a fan of Fairy Tail, and yes, she was a Natsu Lucy shipper. I didn't really have a specific ship for Natsu, because it's like, I'm okay with Natsu and Lucy. But I was always like, I always try to explore like the various relationships, and I'm like, if you were to ask me what characters Natsu could be shipped with, it's either Lucy or Lisana. Maybe Mira Jane.
I remember one time I found a fic.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And it was Natsu, Lucy, and Lisana, and they were a throuple.
Oh, that's fine. I feel like 100%.
I don't even know why I read it.
100%. I feel like if any main character was going to end up in a polyamorous relationship, it would be Natsu.
Yeah.
Because he just has no context for relationships. I
think Natsu should have ended up with Gray.
Oh boy.
Mashima is a coward. He'd never do it.
Yes, you can feel the sexual tension as they just want to pummel each other's faces in.
Oh yeah. I mean, isn't that where most gay ships come from?
If you ask the MHA fandom, that would be yes.
No hate to gay ships, by the way, but
yeah, no, there's absolutely none. Like, probably my favorite, one of my top ships for MHA is Deku and Todoroki. You can judge me.
I never watched Boku no Hero.
That's fair.
So, like, for good reason, because I'm not big into battle shonens.
That is fair.
For obvious reasons, I wonder why I'm not into big battle shonens anymore.
I think one of the problems, like, if we're going to talk about, I don't know why, but some of the most popular gay ships in anime, I feel, are very toxic.
Yes, and I have that problem as well in a lot of the fandoms that I'm in that, especially Persona 5. Um, you
I know who you're
you had
talking.
a you had a Shuake shipper in your final Persona 5 Royal VOD or stream, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was cringing at their every message. No offense to you, I just think Shuake is very toxic.
I
And if you don't know, Shuake is Joker and Akechi.
I keep forgetting Akechi's name. I'm gonna be real with you. I just remember Crow. So I've just been saying them Joker and Crow the entire time in my head.
Technically his name is Goro, but
screw that. But no, it's like
I don't like Shuake. It's fine if you do, but don't go shoving it down everyone's throats.
Let's be real. If they are people who have only played Persona 5 Royal, then it's just the Akechi from the Royal ending.
Yeah.
Which is not even the real Akechi.
Yeah. Persona 5 spoilers, by the way.
Yeah. I'm just like, people who are like, oh, redemption arc for Akechi. It's like, but it wasn't Akechi. It wasn't actually him.
I did like how they fleshed out his character in his like renewed social link, because if you didn't know, you get to do his social link like actively in Royal, and if you do it, then you get to unlock his third awakening. In base Persona 5, it was...
Wait, I think I got his third awakening.
You did get his third awakening.
Yeah.
It was a social link that ranked up with the story. So he didn't really get a lot of character like moments to shine with his character. And I guess that makes sense because he was supposed to be the twist villain, quote unquote twist villain. That we knew was the villain all along.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, twist villain, as if nobody saw that one coming.
And it really did feel like they were trying to give him a redemption arc, and then threw it out the window when it was revealed that it wasn't even Akechi, like he was dead the whole time. That still pissed me off. I have a lot to say about the third semester. Maybe we should save that for another time.
Yeah, let's save that for the Persona podcast.
Yeah, we'll save that for the Persona podcast.
I will say, though,
have a lot to say about Persona as a
damn it, now I'm
series.
caught on this, though, but it's just, like, terrible twist villain, honestly, where it's like, because you know me, I was calling him out the whole game.
The thing with Akechi is that he's not supposed to be, like, the fact that he's the villain, or one of the villains, is not the twist. The twist is that the characters were smart enough to catch on and plan around him. And that's the twist.
Damn. I just find it funny. It's just like.
And I think his name being close to another character's name, kind of like, I think that was a purposeful decision for that exact reason.
I'm gonna assume this is a character I have no idea about.
It's fine. You don't need to know.
Okay. I'm just like, all the stuff with Akechi is like, I don't know if it was supposed to be a big surprise that he was a villain, because it really wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I think even if I missed the pancakes line, which tuned me in very quickly that, okay, something's up with you, dude.
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Yeah, I'm like, uh-huh. Everybody was so shocked I realized that.
Yeah, I was actually shook that you picked up on that, because, like, it's a thing that you've kind of been, like, picking up on recently, but you tend to, like, talk to chat rather than pay attention to the game.
I like talking to chat.
I was honestly expecting you to miss the line, and so that's why I was very surprised when you actually did hear it.
Nah, it's like, I am always paying, like, even when I'm talking to chat, I'm always paying half attention. I do miss some cues. I do miss some cues, like, for example, like, when the royal ending started and they started mentioning stuff, like, from Futaba, like, she was mentioning her mom and stuff. I do want to clarify, it's not that I was actually missing that they were saying this, but I just kind of figured they were, you know, with everything being over, as far as I could tell, that they were deciding to improve on their lives. Like when she said she got this from her mom, I thought maybe this was something that her mom had bought for her, or like it was something that belonged to her mom that she finally pulled out of storage or something.
Yeah.
That's where my brain went. So I didn't think anything weird about it.
We can definitely talk about my love-hate relationship with Persona 5 The Royal when we.
I'd rather talk about your absolute hate relationship with Persona 4.
Oh yeah, we can also talk about my absolute hate relationship with Persona 4 when we get to the Persona podcast.
When we rated Bite Sizes yesterday, she was asking me, it's like, oh, how's Persona 4? Because she's never played any of the Persona games, apparently.
I stuck around for a little bit, but I didn't say anything.
I just remember saying it's an experience, and that I'm too early. Yeah, I'm too early into the game to give a positive review, because right now I have nothing but problems for the game, and they have nothing to do with Star. Everybody to think like, if anyone thinks like Star is influencing my thought process, no, it's that the game is Persona 4 Golden is so vastly different from Persona 5 Royal in terms of giving us reasons to like the characters that we're meeting at first versus anything else. Now, I'll be fair, maybe character stories will change my input.
They won't.
Damn it. Look, I want to be hopeful, but overall right now it just seems bleh. And then there's like the travel as we're doing things. It just kind of feels like Persona 5 Royal was more intuitive about what it was doing, and I felt like it was much faster to get started.
I mean like, no, Persona 5 takes like 10 hours to get started.
Well, no, what I meant like is like for the daily stuff.
Oh yeah, like it definitely hooks you a lot faster. Persona 4 I feel takes a lot longer to get that hook. Persona 3 just gives you that hook right off the fucking bat.
I can't wait to start.
They're
about
like,
2025 I'll get to.
They're like, you want something interesting? All right, here you go. Here's someone trying to shoot themselves in the head.
Oh my god.
In the opening cutscene. It's like, all right.
I've seen that.
What the fuck's going on here?
The moment when Star realizes, wait, Fox, how have you already seen that?
You were there for my first P3 stream. It's fine.
I popped in like in the middle. I didn't get to see the opening cutscenes with you.
Oh, you didn't see the opening cutscene? Okay. Well, I mean, I was like creaming during the opening cutscene.
No, I had left open a YouTube playlist where it's like just replaying one YouTuber, and it was Sayu VTuber. He played all of Persona 3 Reload because he did the voice acting for Akihiko.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so it's like one of those videos popped up, so I did get to see him playing the opening scene. I was like, oh, skip that.
You should watch Alex Lee, because holy shit, those videos are so funny.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously not gonna watch him until I finish the game.
Yeah. Definitely don't watch him until you play the game yourself, but holy shit, Alex Lee, he's the voice actor for the protagonist. He's so funny.
Yep. Are we talking about something to do with shipping at this point?
Shipping. We were talking about toxic ships, and we got onto Shuake.
Yes, Heavy Robot. Sayu VTuber is also the voice of Sino and Jingyuin in HSR.
And also,
ironically, Sayu has nothing to do with either of those names. His name Sayu is Cyborg Seiyu. Like that's
something
what it's
like that.
It's like something like that. Basically, that's why his name is Sayu VTuber, and he's had that name since before he played either Sino or Jing Yun. So it's funny. It worked out.
It did work out.
But yeah, we were talking about shipping. Specifically, we were talking about
toxic ship.
Yeah, toxic ships. There's a lot of them. And I'm just like, I'm trying to think of some. Because my main exposure to shipping is more in fan fiction than anything else, because I'm not always on social media to get into conversations with people to be like, oh, hey, yeah, here's my shipper kind of thing.
Yeah. I try to stay out of shipping discourse on like YouTube, Twitter.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
I'm pretty much of the same vibe, but when I do get the opportunity and I hear about it, I'm like, So I don't understand certain ships, and these are very popular ships for some reason.
Yeah.
Deku and Bakugo from MHA, and it's usually like early Bakugo where he's suicide baited Deku.
Toxic ships hate me for it. Any girl that ends up with Sasuke.
Oh no, that is 100% true, because we know Sasuke's true love is Naruto.
Yeah, they should have ended up together.
Even though
I've been saying that as a joke this whole time, but this one I mean it.
it's not even a joke with these two. And
yeah, they smooched it.
Yeah.
They did. They smooched it.
Yeah, they did. Twice.
Oh. Twice?
I don't actually know if they're
married.
I don't actually know if it was twice. I just make the joke. The thing about that one where it's like, okay, yeah, Naruto was super obsessed. It's like, no, 100%, if either one of Sasuke or Naruto was the opposite gender, they would have been shipped. 100% the author would have put them together at the end. Mm-hmm. The weird part is that Naruto and Sasuke are technically the reincarnation of two brothers. So spiritually, they're brothers.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
that's
awkward.
Kind of weird. Let's not do that then.
Yeah. Of course, someone's gonna say it's like, oh, but they're actually distant cousins. Distant enough to where they have no blood relation, basically. It's like, it's still weird, because it's like spiritually, their chakras recognize each other as siblings. Like Naruto and Sasuke even state they always felt as if they had some kind of connection. Oh god, this is just 100% a homosexual pairing that just never got put together.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Like 100%, it's why the gender bender fan fiction for Naruto is like so heavily usually just either Naruto or Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, if one of them was the
just let them be Yuri. Like, I don't know.
There is some with that. There are some with that.
Yeah, that's the good shit.
And then of course there's just a vast majority where it's like they are still just Naruto and Sasuke. But I mostly just mean is like, if in the actual canon one of them was a girl, they would have gotten together. That is the reality of it. It is still a toxic ship though, because one is Naruto's obsession. First of all, that's not healthy. And that's certainly, like, that's not healthy from the point of an intimate relationship, and it's certainly not healthy, like, even as a friendship, because, how do I put this? Just the sheer level of obsession where Naruto was really willing to start a war, nearly starting a war, to keep Sasuke safe. That's bad.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
And then we have Sasuke, who has literally torn up Naruto apart on several instances, betrayed him, nearly killed him. So it's like, if you want to go ahead and give me abusive relationships, hey, well, here you go. I do love this one writer though, STO Hero, who really they really approach this topic a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They love writing female Naruto, and in some of them, usually they do end up with Sasuke temporarily. Very recently, they've been into Jujutsu Kaisen crossovers, and it's... I like this writer in some points because they really like to handle the mental issues of things. Mm-hmm. But in their latest works, I feel like they are really over-obsessing something where it's like, okay, you have Sasuke who cheated on the female Naruto. Now, obviously, that's bad. Mm-hmm. The thing that really is annoying to kind of read is more just like how much they keep bringing that up. It's like Sasuke made a mistake because he was drunk. He was practically drugged and taken advantage of by their other friend.
Okay.
And
they're blaming the person who was drugged and taken advantage of?
Pretty much.
Oh,
and it's
that's
for you.
Dope for me.
And like, it's understandable that her trust was destroyed because he never came out and told her about it. Like, she lost trust. It's completely fair. Her feelings are not invalid before anyone gets up to that, but it's like, it feels like nobody's understanding that this
I
dude
wouldn't.
went through shit.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily cheating if he was drugged and taken advantage of.
I wouldn't either, but it's like it's the concept of the story.
That's what they're saying it is in the story.
There we go. Yeah, so in the context of the story, if I recall correctly, the fact that he was drunk and taken advantage of in that situation, basically to a point where he was not very coherent, didn't come out until later. So she didn't quite know that part. So as far as she knew, because he hid it from her, she felt like she was cheated on. It did come out later on, but she still never forgives him. She never really allows him back into her life. But at the same time, then they seem to kind of justify it by saying it's like, oh, it's to help him. Because he's destroyed his own life afterwards because he obsesses over her to a point where he has neglected his own daughter. But I'm also like, I think it would be very hard to look at a child born from that situation. Because that child was born from him being taken advantage of. I'm like, I understand we're trying to give the female character the sympathy here, because it's like that
sounds like something I would write. What the fuck is going on here?
Ugh. It's like it's all kinds of messed up, where it seems like we're meant to pick the side of a specific character, but it's like I feel for both of these characters because none of their feelings are invalid. Feelings are never invalid. But damn, do I sympathize with the guy a little bit more in this situation.
Yeah, no, I definitely do as well. Nobody deserves to be drugged and taken advantage of. Not cool.
Yeah.
And like, essay is something that I use in my stories, but not in a way that just feels like shock factor, right? Mm-hmm. I do it in a way that I'm trying to be respectful to people who have experienced that, and I'm trying to treat it as delicately and with taste as possible, and I'm not just throwing it in there last minute for a shock, you know? Because it's very important to me. It's an important topic to me because I am a woman, and it happens to a lot of women out there. It's thankfully never happened to me, but that doesn't mean that it won't.
Oof.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean that it won't.
Yeah.
But that's a topic for another day. That's mostly why I go into that a lot in my writing. I don't know why that one is always something that I default to. I think it's just because it is a topic that I'm very passionate about. Because I think it needs, you know, like we need to take it more seriously than we do as a society.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like romanticize it or anything.
There will be lots of topics in the future with stars skipping around like this.
Yeah, there will.
To be fair, it's like this is I started this topic because I talked about the characters doing that, so it still was in line. But yeah, it's completely understandable. It's like when you're passionate about a topic, it's going to end up in your writing.
Yeah, and especially something that's like a deep societal issue that you know is a deep societal issue and that it bothers you a lot. And yeah, like because and it bothers me like particularly because I'm a woman and we have to and we unfortunately deal with sexual assault a lot more than men do.
Yeah.
Why did Cal just message me saying our boy Magic Pot is a Giga Chad? What the fuck does that mean?
I'm so good. What?
What the fuck does that mean, Cal?
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what that means.
Neither do I. I guess we go back to talking about toxic ships.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, most of my main thing is
I know a lot of. I know a lot of toxic ships from the Danganronpa series. There's a lot of them in there, and the fandom is not much better.
Oh boy.
I know you were around for a little bit of Danganronpa 1.
Yeah.
Toko and Byakuya was a really bad one. I don't know anyone who actually ships that, but I have seen it. And it's bad. It's not good. It's very toxic.
I don't really understand how it is that people end up shipping like these characters that are so obviously like bad for each other.
And I don't know how people end up shipping two characters where one fucking despises the other one. Like
I'm like I can think of a couple of ships. The thing is that I'm never sure if they're actually like the people who write these stories, whether or not they actually ship them, or they're like, oh, I want to do this just to kind of mess with people.
Yeah, no, the most popular ship in Danganronpa V3 is Sayoma, which is Kokichi Oma and Shuichi Saihara, and I don't like
Let's
it.
pretend I know who those characters are.
It's okay. The people watching the video will know.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say like the most prominent ones I can think of, and I would have to explain this one. I know Star does not like Harry Potter, but I feel like she knows at least who the characters are. And for some reason, there are so...
and Mondo is kind of... It's... I don't know. I see... The way that I see the Fujisaki, Mondo, and Kiyotaka dynamic is that I see Kiyotaka and Mondo, and then they adopt Fujisaki despite being the same age. I don't know. I don't really see Fujisaki.
Oh, these two.
Oh, you're looking at Shuichi and Kokichi? Or...
Oh, wait, hold on. No, I looked at Fujisaki and Mondo.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, okay. What were those other two names?
Shuichi Saihara and Kokichi Oma.
Oh, well, there's Shuichi Saihara. And...
Baby boy, I love
Kokichi
him.
Oma.
Yep. Okay, so one of them is a little gremlin, and he's literally the worst.
I mean, getting the visual representation, I've got no idea, because I still don't know who these characters are or what they do, so it's like, I just realized having these images does not do me any favors.
Throughout the course of the story, like, Shuichi is, like, consistently fed up with Kokichi's bullshit, okay? Fucking hates his guts. But, like... I don't know, Koichi has like one line in his free time events where he's like, I stole your heart. And then that's where everyone's like, oh my fucking god, they're so gay. It's like, no.
Okay.
No, I don't think they are. I don't like Sayoma at all. I don't like...
Yeah, no, that sounds...
I don't like Kokichi at all.
No,
and if anyone comes at me and they're like, you just don't understand his character. No, I fucking do, and I don't like him.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. It's like, why ship two people who utterly despise each other? I guess what it comes from is you know that line, not line, but there's a popular phrase where it's like love and hate are such a thin line between each other. Or something like that.
Junko and Kirigiri, what the fuck?
And I'm just like, maybe they are, but that doesn't mean that I absolutely hate this person should also translate to, oh, I'm totally in love with this person.
Yeah.
That doesn't equal at all.
Like, again, you're free to ship whatever you like.
Oh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Totally fine.
But that doesn't mean we don't have opinions about your ship.
Yeah, we it doesn't mean we won't have opinions.
Yeah, like, you're okay to ship them, and we're not gonna push our opinions on you, but that doesn't mean we won't state our opinions.
There's one more that I wouldn't say that I don't like, but it's more that I don't see working.
Sometimes I want to do a video about, like, take a show or a movie or a book series and do, like, a top 10 of my least favorite ships.
I could do that right now. I could do that right
man.
now.
Number 1, Harry Potter and Severus Snape. This exists. What? How dare you dislike my my gay ship? It's got nothing to do with it being gay. It's got to do with the fact that, 1, they're teacher and student.
Yeah, if I don't like a ship, it doesn't have anything to do with them being like gay or anything.
I'm just putting that out there because I feel like so many people would be like, you dislike it because it's this thing. It's like, no, it's because, 1, there's a massive age gap because they're student and teacher. 1, and 2, Snape was in love with Harry's mother.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I'm like, there are so many people that will reuse that aspect where Snape will stare into Harry's eyes and realize they're the same shade as Lily's. Oh my god, he's now in love with it, and it's like,
that's so creepy, man. Oh,
dude,
my god.
it's so much worse when it's like they gender bend Harry and he's like an identical twin to his mother.
Oh,
it's like, please no. Next up, Harry and Voldemort.
Oh, that's a ship. Oh,
the guy who
God.
murdered his parents.
Why is that a ship?
I don't freaking know.
What the fuck?
It's so weird, and it's like, how is this a thing? I don't know if this is like actually like a shit people like, or it's just like people who write fanfics are just like want to create the most cringe, cracked up story that they can, and they're like, oh, this will get views because obviously nobody writes this. There are so many stories out there, and where they're like, oh, I'm gonna make Voldemort, the guy who literally cannot feel any actual form of love, just be down bad and obsessed. Well, I mean, to be fair, he is obsessed with Harry, but that's beside the point.
That's not a ship. That's a nuclear missile.
Yeah, you are not kidding. It's so bad. And they're like, well, we're going to make them soulmates, and that's going to allow Voldemort to be better. And don't even get me started on the top.
It's for the hot gay sex, okay? Like
it is 100%. I'm like,
100%.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Like, if you're gonna do Harry and Draco, I'm actually okay with that because at least that one is fine.
That one just reminds me of Midoriya and Bakugo.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely awful, but at least it's not as bad as Midoriya and Bakugo.
That's true.
Like, at least in the case of Draco and Harry, you could put the scene, like, them developing a relationship to before things go nuclear. You can't do that with Midoriya and Bakugo because... let's see. Oh, I don't know, because in the very first episode of the series, Bakugo tells Deku that which is Midoriya, by the way, if he wants to be a hero, he should swan dive off the roof.
Oh, you can't
good character. You can't ship these two. There's no time where their relationship wasn't nuclear.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Draco and Harry never really got along, but genuinely, you could at least do something with them because they weren't, like, out to kill each other, at least prior to 6th year.
It's about the hot gay sex.
I don't give a damn what it's about. I'm like, I'm sorry, like I said, I do not deny your ships. You're allowed to ship who you want. These are just my opinion.
You're allowed to write your hot gay sex.
Yes. But this is just my basic opinion of why I don't like those ships.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the point where it's like you'll feel personally attacked when I say I don't like your ship, but it's got nothing to do with me disliking the it's like, yes, it has to do with me disliking the ship, but it's not a personal attack aimed against you. It's just me saying, here's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I won't judge you for liking it or wanting to write it. Especially because I understand that it's...
There's one that I used to ship, and it's not that it's a bad ship or it's a toxic ship. It's just now I don't see it working.
What was the ship?
I'm a little scared to say it, but I will work up my courage and I'll say it.
Say it.
And it's
say it.
And it's Phoenix and Edgeworth.
Oh really? That's not that bad.
I'm gonna get massacred, Fox. You don't understand.
I can see it though.
I can't see it. I just don't see Edgeworth being able to maintain a romantic relationship with anyone.
That's fair.
I view Edgeworth as very arrow ace.
That's a man married to his work.
Exactly. See, you get it.
Yeah. I'm just also saying, I could see Edgeworth and Phoenix.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. Again, like I used to
it's just
ship
not a
it when I
it's
first
just not a ship
started.
that you're into.
Yeah, it's again, like I started shipping it when I first started playing the game, and as I got through the rest of the trilogy, I don't know, he just didn't seem like he didn't seem to be someone who I think would be, you know, able to like.
He didn't seem like a guy that was really interested in romance.
That, and also like, and also just like, he doesn't seem like he would be like fully mentally capable of handling a romantic relationship, right?
Nah, he traumatized.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Oh man.
I don't know, like, and it has nothing to do with the other ship that I have from Ace Attorney, so nobody fucking come at me for that one.
Phoenix X Maya.
No, stop! Fox!
What?
I'm gonna get shredded!
Why? I see it. To be fair, I also watched the anime, which gives so much more credence to it.
It does. They're so cute. But also, like, people are gonna, like, hate on me. You don't like it because it's gay. No, that's not the reason.
I wasn't trying to, like, say that childhood PTSD was a joke. I'm just saying Edgeworth is traumatized.
Yeah.
Like,
it's because I've seen people getting, like, put on blast for...
People will get put on blast for, like, any kind of ship. Like, all my comments about the Snape and Voldemort stuff, people are gonna be like, you just don't get it. And it's like, no, 100% you're allowed to ship who you want, but we're also allowed our own ships, and we're also allowed to tell you why we think that these certain ships are really toxic.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Naramitsu is toxic, right?
Yeah.
That's Phoenix and Edgeworth, right, based on their Japanese names.
Yeah.
I just don't see it working out in the long term, but if you want to write your gay sex, then
it would be like, I guess I would feel like they'd probably, if they did date, it would be a thing like that would last for like a few months.
Yeah.
Maybe. And it would just be like
giving it a try, but I just don't see it working out that long.
Yeah, I would see like Edgeworth would be a guy, he's a workaholic. And I feel like Phoenix would either overcommit in the relationship to a point he would burn himself out.
Yeah. And yeah, that's definitely it.
And it would just kind of like finally be like, you know, maybe it's time to go their separate ways. At best, like 2 months. And then he goes and meets with Maya again.
Yeah.
Maya gets to be the rebound.
Yeah, I actually read a fic like that once.
Of course you did.
No, it was fucking Narumayo, like, primarily, but it had a little section where he tried to date Edgeworth and it didn't work out, and then he was just sad and
Poor
lonely.
Iris just sitting in jail.
Yeah, fuck Iris. Get out of here.
I remember, didn't I? I was trying to remember. It was like, didn't I send you a fanfic where it was like Maya and Phoenix went to the same college?
Yes, and I read that and I enjoyed it.
That was fun.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I ended up also finding a fanfic where Phoenix and Iris had a night of passion before she disappeared.
Oh,
and guess what? When they meet again years later, it turns out Iris had a kid.
No.
Actually, she had twins.
No.
And this is the first time Phoenix is meeting them, and it all falls in line with the canon.
Oh no.
So, surprise, Phoenix, you're a daddy.
Oh, I mean, Sataniku, I'm pretty sure ships Phoenix with Iris. Maybe you could send that to him.
I have no idea where it is anymore. I found it by pure accident. I don't really ship Phoenix with anybody because it's like all the characters
Phoenix
I guess are cool.
Phoenix is shipped with his attorney badge.
Damn, that must have sucked during Apollo Justice when he lost it.
Yeah. He lost his poor badge.
Yep.
But in return, he got a child. So I mean, who's really winning here?
I don't know. Probably that one fanfic writer who also did the child thing, and the child ends up dating Apollo Justice. I'm kidding, by the way. I made that up on the spot.
Okay, I was gonna say I hope we're not talking about Trucy here.
No, I think they made a separate one.
Okay, thank goodness.
Star won't even question the fact that I know who any of these characters are, because she knows I probably spoiled myself.
Oh, I've spoiled myself. Don't you worry.
Like, I just get so curious about things, and it's like I'm not really willing to wait, and I'll just go look up information, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, this looks interesting. Like, I remember, what's his face? I don't know. We just kept calling him Von Douchebag or Von Hohenheim or
Von Einsberg.
Von Einsberg, yeah. Hohenheim is FMA. What am I talking about? In any case, we just like, I remember looking up information about him, and I then
you learned he has a daughter. Yeah.
I had to play that up for the cameras and pretend that I didn't know who that was.
Franziska, my goodness.
And everybody bought it, is what's funny.
Yeah, we did.
Nobody's been like, hey, Fox, why does it seem like you already knew she existed? And it's because I did.
I was just like, wait, Von. No, it was Von, wait, what was his name? Von Karma. There we go.
Yeah, it was Von Karma.
I've been calling him Von Einsberg for so long, I fucking forgot his name.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't know his name either. Oh man.
Yeah, I remember when they were like, oh yeah, Von Einsberg is gonna be prosecuting, and I was like, wait, he still has his job? And then they were like, oh yeah, it's his kid. And then I was like, watch it be a woman. Oh man, H2 was a ride.
Yep. I remember during the section where it was like I had to pretend I didn't know who this was. I was just joking and saying, I was like, oh wait, hold on, she's kind of cute. And then she pulled out the whip. And I was like, oh
yeah,
no.
The whip made it better.
I'm like, no. I was like, Red, this is all yours.
The whip made it better.
Not for me.
Oh man. So romance in media. Let's circle it back. Let's circle it back.
Do we need to?
Do we need to? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like we've easily discussed that. It's like the thing with ships is like I don't like the shipping wars because it's like
shipping wars aren't
everybody's ship is valid in its own way, sort of. Look, I do have problems with some ships, but I'm not gonna get confrontational about it. I'm gonna say you're allowed to ship whoever you want.
I'm gonna fester in silence.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna vent to my chat.
Exactly.
Oh my god. If you guys don't know this, streamers have a chat purely for therapy. So we don't have to pay for therapists.
You guys are free fucking therapy.
Yeah, exactly. So we tell chat about why we don't like your ships.
And it's usually when I'm shiny hunting.
Oh yeah.
It's always when I'm shiny hunting that I go into family drama. Good times.
Mm-hmm. I 100% respect shiny hunters because it's like, I tried that once. Well, technically twice. Technically twice.
Yo, where's the Poplio at? Where's
oh wait, that wasn't a
Poplio
joke.
at?
Oh,
Oh yeah, you guys pay us for therapy. Exactly.
oh yeah, that's true. Oh man. Like, I've only done 2 shiny hunts so far, and both of them were for starters. One was the Cyndaquil in Soul Silver. I loved it. I just remembered nearly dropping my controller while I was playing. I was like, oh shit, hold on, that's a shiny!
I recently updated my spreadsheet. Let me tell you how many shinies I found over the past...
Oh god.
9 years?
Oh god.
830.
You are insane.
Eh.
I'm sorry. I think it must be a requirement for shiny hunters to at least some level of insanity to them.
No, just mad patience and...
Oh, no wonder I can't be a shiny hunter.
The ability to multitask, and you really like sparkles.
I feel like shiny streamers especially also need to like have the ability to talk to people.
Yeah, and not just rant about family drama.
I mean, you can rant about family drama, but I just mean like just being able to talk on a regular basis, because I know it's like after a while, I'm like, I am running out of shit to say.
Yeah.
Like in most games, I'm like, I'm an hour in, I've already exhausted everything.
Yeah, this is why I talk around the game, like I pay attention to the game, and then if someone starts to strike up a conversation, then I will start to ignore the game and talk to chat.
That's fair. I do watch. I've been watching.
You just full on ignore game, and you're like, all right, chat.
I do not full on ignore game. I do not full on ignore game. I half pay attention to game and half.
Yeah, you half pay attention to
game. Okay, 25% pay attention to game.
I'm gonna half pay attention to you and go back to Pokerogue and continue.
How do I know you haven't been doing that this whole time?
I actually haven't. You've had my full attention the whole time, my guy.
Oh god, that's scary.
I know.
Like, I'll be fair. It's like I do need to start paying more attention to the games. I guess it's just like, it's that portion of me like that's still nervous about being a streamer, which is weird because I'm 3 years in, but I've just never had confidence with what I do, and I'll go back all the time and watch videos, and it'll be like, oh, here's what you need to do to succeed as a streamer. And they'll be like, you need to talk. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
Obviously not, because I barely talk and I still get like 10 on average.
Yo, I'll go and take a look at like
Who are
big
you people?
Like, I'll go look at big streamers, and they have no problem just staying shut.
Fox's skill
for
called
5 minutes
is locked behind the gender skill tree.
I have no multitasking skill. I will 100% tell you this now. Like, I'll get asked to do 3 things, and I'll be like, can you stop telling me everything I need to do right now and just tell me one thing, let me finish that thing, and then I can do the next thing.
Oh, just like, don't tell me anything, because I'll instantly forget it.
Because
That's my problem.
100%, like, if I get asked to be like, okay, I need you to go move this over there, but then I need you to also grab the screwdriver and take it over there, then I need you to go and grab me something from the fridge, I'm gonna be like, can I go back to that first thing real quick?
Yeah, what was that first thing?
Because here's my thing.
My problem is that I instantly forget words as soon as they leave my mouth, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
I'll say something, and then a chatter will be like, what did you just say? And I'll be like, I don't know, what did I just say?
You said it was their fault.
I did say it was their fault.
All their fault. But
You know, it's a struggle, man.
But I'm just like, look, I can get stuff done, but I need you to give it to me one at a time. Don't throw a bunch of things at me all at once and expect me to be able to go do all this.
You know what the worst part about that is?
What?
Is that my dad would constantly ask us to go find things, right? He'd be like, "Can you go find this?" And we'd be like, "Okay, where was the last place you saw it?" And he'd be like, "I don't know, just look around." Like, that fucking helps.
Yeah.
Thanks, Papa.
I will go into the living room and it's like my housemates will be like, "Hey, have you seen this item?" I'm like, "I've been in my room all day. I'm in my room practically 24/7 unless I'm going outside. Like, I have direct paths to every place I go. Why would I know where your TV remote is?"
I haven't left my room for the past week.
Exactly. And so why would I know where something that you lost is?
Yeah, for real.
And then it's like, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't
Living
even
with other people is just something else, man.
Yeah, and then don't even get me started where they'll ask me if the other person did something where they'll be like, "Hey, did so and so put the Cokes in the fridge?" And I'm just sitting there, it's like, I don't know. I haven't been in the fridge. I keep all my drinks in my room. I'm like,
I would like a fridge in my room, right?
I would too, actually, at this point. I'm like,
they keep saying they won't get me a fridge for my room because then I'll never leave.
Save up and buy your own.
This is true. This is true, but I have to leave my room to go out to the living room to stream. So
Yeah. But I'm like,
jokes on me.
I have a freezer on the back porch, so like that's where I keep most of my food. But I have like an air fryer in the kitchen. Most of my drinks are in my room, but it's like I really have no reason to go into the fridge very often, except for the few things that I buy that require going in there, like bologna, which is for some reason spelled Bologna.
Bologna, I love Bologna.
Why not spell it B-O-L, but B-A-L-O-N-E-Y? That feels more like bologna.
Bologna.
Bologna. I think that's a country, actually.
Oh, is it?
It's either a country or a city or something. I do remember reading that something was called Bologna. Bologna. But in any case, my point being is like, I'm never in the fridge. So how would I know that someone put something in the fridge? And they'll be like, "Well, can you check?" And I'm like, but that's not what you asked me. You asked me, do I know if someone did this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not keeping track. Fox, ask the European.
Yeah.
But Rico, you're obviously in the bathroom. We can't chat right now. I'm sorry, somebody made that joke a couple days ago. I think it was literally, and I was like, it just stuck.
It was literally last week for the fucking first podcast.
Was it? Really?
It was. I don't remember anything that happened like 5 minutes ago, but like for some reason my brain stores a lot of useless information.
Star 100% is the person who walks out of her room to go to the kitchen, forgets why she went to the kitchen.
I am.
To be fair,
why are you calling me out like this?
I'm calling myself out because that's me too, and I'll do it.
I'll get up and I'll be like, "Wait, what am I doing?" And then I'll just go back and lay down.
Yeah, I'll do it like 3 times a day too. Is like I'll get up, I'll go into the kitchen, and suddenly I'll start talking to my housemate, and then I'm like, "Wait, why did I come in here?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't need anything in here.
Like, I don't remember anything that I learned during high school, but I can remember the answers to the fucking puzzle.
Could easily pass the school in Pokemon.
No, I remember the fucking the gym puzzle for the second gym in Pokemon Reborn. All of the answers, I know it. I know it off the top of my head.
And you're like, where was this? For some reason. Yeah, it's one of those really stupid things where it's like you're like, man, I would have loved this memory in school.
I love being neurodivergent. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
One thing I would love to do, me personally, is quit my job for one thing. But I think everybody's like that. But if I did that, my housemates would never see me because I would never be awake in the day. And it's because I feel so much better getting work done at night.
I wish I was never awake during the day. Like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Like, I'm just like, I feel so much better. And it feels like it's easier to get stuff done when it's late at night because I don't have excuses to not get that work done. Like, during the day, my excuse is, well, I've been inside for a few hours. I should go out for a walk. I'll just be gone for 20 minutes. I'll be gone for an hour and a half. And I mean, I am out there for an hour and a half, even when it's like 100 degrees. Let me go get the Celsius for that.
No, I'll do it. It's fine. Keep talking.
Okay. But I think that's like around 38 degrees Celsius, basically. Probably a little bit lower.
It's 37. It's 37.7.
I'll be out there for an hour and a half with it baking me.
Ew, that's disgusting. Why would you do that?
Because I don't want to be inside working.
Oh my god.
That's the reality of it, is where it's like, I would never want to work a desk job. I'm like, to those of you guys who can do it, congratulations. Fox, you're a content creator. You're working a desk job right now. It doesn't feel like one, though. That is the thing.
Yeah, my problem is that when I sit down to edit, I'll open Filmora, and then I'll lay down, and I think laying down is the problem.
It is 100%. It gets so boring to listen to your own voice.
And then like 5 minutes in, I'm just conked out.
Oh my god, it's just, yeah, I get it.
Oh man.
And there's like, I think the real struggle is like figuring out what's funny to keep in. Like when I was really trying to do edited clips of VODs, specifically full playthroughs, I was like, I cannot figure out what's funny.
Yeah, I like to think that I keep in clips that are relatively good. I don't know. I like them, but nobody's ever like told me, hey Star, your content is actually pretty good.
Oh man, trying to get comments on a video feels like the worst.
And it's the worst because I've like made people sit down and watch them, and then it's still nothing.
Oh damn.
When after the Nintendo Direct, Bench messaged me and he said, "Is this another Ace Attorney video? You're gonna make me watch?"
Oh man.
And I was like, yeah.
I feel like we could do a whole nother podcast about like the feelings we have as content creators.
Yeah.
So maybe we should like put a whole.
That's another.
We've got like
topic
5
for
other
day.
topics in the course of this one podcast where we're like, oh man, this would be a great podcast for another week.
We start off with, we're gonna definitely try to talk about romance in media, and then we get off topic, and then we're like, oh, we're gonna save that for another week, and then we go back to romance in media, and then we get off topic.
To be fair, it's like I haven't watched many other podcasts, but I do feel like going off topic is just something that kind of happens. There's not really it like, because you'll be like, oh, keep on, like you're trying to bounce off of each other, and sometimes bouncing off brings you to other topics.
I definitely think we should do like a day where we just talk about our writing. Yeah. Could be fun.
Like, we could especially talk like our experiences with writing.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that probably people watching this are gonna be like, this is so out of control. Can we get back to romance in media? And I feel like we did enough on ships, so I feel like I guess I got the next topic.
All right.
Okay.
Or if you think we've had enough, we could always start the anime. I don't know.
We could, but I do have one last thing. This is kind of tied to love triangles a little bit.
Oh boy, we're back. We're back.
Because my next topic is one of my most hated genres / tropes.
Okay.
Harems.
Harems.
I cannot stand them. And it's like, when I was reading official stuff like manga, books, it's like, okay, this is funny. Then I started reading it as a fan fiction trope, and suddenly I'm like, oh my god, I hate this. I hate this so much.
Yeah, I don't do the whole harem thing,
What?
and that's also why I kind of steer clear of isekai.
Yeah. So, for the audience, let me go ahead and put it to you like this. Love triangles are complicated enough with that drama because it's completely senseless. Harems take that and multiply it by 1,000. Because here's the thing. I understand someone's gonna say polyamorous relationships are totally a thing, and it's like, you're right. They totally are.
Polyamory is valid.
It is.
But that's only when everyone involved is consenting and okay with it.
Yes. Here's where I don't like the harem trope, where it kind of just feels like an excuse for a bunch of women fighting over one dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, seriously? Ladies?
And that's usually the harem. That's why like the reverse harem is when it's men fighting over one woman, right?
I think my favorite reverse harem, because it's not actually a reverse harem, is Ouran Host Club.
Ouran is a fucking classic, man. I love Ouran.
Like, it's been given the reverse harem because it's one girl and you have all these guys as a part of the cast. But it's like, it's not actually, because there was only ever 2 characters that actually showed a romantic interest in the protag.
Yeah.
And one of them eventually decided, nah. So it was just all open for Tamaki. But
I still have to read the manga for that because I never have.
Oh. Well, they got together.
What the fuck?
I'm kidding.
What the fuck, man? What the hell? No, you're not kidding. Fuck you.
Were you ever actually gonna read the manga?
I was.
I'm sorry.
You shithead. I have 2 volumes on my shelf.
Here's the thing, though. I have told you this before. Give it a month, you'll forget.
I will forget. No, actually, I think I already knew that, so I think I was just yelling at you for no reason.
That's like so over the internet for the most part, where it's like, it's one of those crazy things, basically. But no, legitimately, I do apologize for spoiling, but I also feel like it's one of those things where it's like,
I feel like I already knew that.
I've definitely said it on channel before, because I've done the tirades about harems. And I always talk about Ouran Host Club because it's one of my favorite ones, because it's such a different.
Can we get a timeout for FGRolls due to spoiling?
Nope, can't time out the broadcaster.
God damn it.
But no, I am sorry.
Nah, it's fine.
In any case,
it's like I kind of figured they would, so it's aight.
I feel like in the end I could say that while joking, because I was saying it as a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's like they were the obvious end game.
Yeah, they were definitely the end game.
So, when I think about harem, so for reverse harem, I would say the best one is Ouran High School Host Club, because it wasn't actually a reverse harem. Whereas the best actual harem anime is probably High School DxD.
I think in terms of reverse harem, I'm gonna circle back to Romantic Killer.
Fair enough.
It's kind of like a reverse harem but like, I don't know, there's like one guy who's like really into the main character, and again, she's like completely aromantic. She's like avoiding romance at all fucking costs.
Fair.
And like, there's one guy who's into her. There's like one background character, I wouldn't say background character, but he's like a side character who's kind of into her. And then there's one other main guy who's like maybe half into her. I can't really tell. But like, and she's just like, yeah, not interested. All right, see ya.
Damn.
Like, she just straight up calls out this guy for cheating on his ex, and she's like, sorry, can't date a cheater, see you later.
Ooh.
So fucking based.
That is amazing.
She's literally the best. If you haven't seen Romantic Killer, please give it a watch. Oh my god, she's
maybe
the
I
best. Oh my goodness. I was actually gonna ask you to add it to your fucking wheel, but we haven't watched anime in a long time.
We really haven't. I hate that I keep starting like ideas and then it's just like I get so busy in life where it's like I can't keep up with them all.
But definitely when you got some free time, give it a watch.
Yeah.
It's like 12, 13 episodes, and it's great. It's a good time.
What was I talking about?
Reverse harems.
I guess, yeah, so for the best basic harem, the reason I say High School DxD is because at least it's not the standard protagonist like, oh, I don't know who I'm gonna get with. And it feels like he just leads on every character. The main character just absolutely wants a harem. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
My thing with it is, though, is that the writer has kind of gone out of control where he's just adding girl after girl after girl, and it feels like we're not really getting the time to learn about the characters to care that he's having these relationships.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. When you're making a harem of 100 girls, they all have to be, like, super...
That's an actual
married.
anime.
Yeah, I know.
The whole 100 girls and all of them love one guy. And apparently it's actually really good because the characters are actually distinct. And I'm always like, maybe I should check this out just to see what it is. But me personally, in terms of writing, I'm like, no. Harems kill it for me, because especially in fan fiction, and I realize someone's gonna say it's like, well, that's not in like official stuff, and it's like I said, fan fiction kills the harem genre for me. The reason it kills the harem genre for me is because the writers will waste an entire chapter to give me a list of 40 different female characters in the story that the main character's gonna bang.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. Why? What is this? All right. It's not even loading.
Oh my god.
Right, there it is. My god, what is this? The absolute hell. And that's an actual panel from the manga.
That is an actual panel.
That is insane. But yeah, it's just like nothing is gonna kill a story faster, in my opinion, than seeing that massive list. So genuinely, I'm like, I'm like, I will toss the harem genre out the freaking window. I do enjoy multi-pairing, which
So poly.
yeah, basically, where it's like, how do I put this? I draw this distinction in my mind. So you have the standard pairing, which is just, two people.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about fics that have like multiple pairings in it. Okay.
No.
Oh.
I'm just giving the distinction so people understand where it like exists in my mind. So you have standard number pairing, which is you have two people, they form a couple. Then you have, I guess this one is weird because it's like, all right, to me, if you have one person and he's in a relationship with, of course, like one or two people, that's where I start saying is like, okay, that's more multi-pairing. So obviously, yeah, that's more in line with like polyamorous.
Yeah.
I'm like, the highest number I ever go is 3, like, is an inclusion of at least 4 people in one relationship. That is the highest I will go.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, when you start putting that many characters, like, higher than that, it's really hard to figure out where everything is going, because you have to make the characters distinct enough to figure out why these two characters bonded. Someone attempted to voice act that whole panel, could only do 153 of the 190 compliment video in 6 minutes long. Jesus. I'm now trying to think of an example, because I can't say this is plugging my own work because this story never got published. Like I said, I'm trying to think of which ones. Most of the ones that I do, like I write mostly fan fiction. I don't typically do multi-pairings like with my official works where it's like I want this to be published because I feel like that would be a thing where like people would be like, oh, well, why is this a thing? Especially because I know fan fiction writers would just take it over anyways.
I mean, like, write whatever you want as long as you're like, you know, like putting in the research and like treating it with the respect it deserves. It's like if you're tackling a topic that you don't know very well, just treat it with the respect it deserves.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons I never wrote this into my like official stories is also because the one story that I ever wanted to really write and publish, it didn't actually allow for the multi-pairing, where it was more like the main character ended up in relationships, but they were relationships that were designed to help him grow as a person rather than being anything that he was like held down to. Like there were a couple of times where it's like he would get close to a character and sometimes it would almost bloom into a romantic interest, but you know, he'd have to leave kind of thing. So it's like it would just not go anywhere. I think I'm trying to remember. First up, he ended in character ended up in a country where the majority ruler was women, so they were like Amazons.
Gotcha, Star. I will have to do extensive research before writing my character eating poutine. Shut the fuck up, Tadaku.
And
Shut the fuck up, my guy.
And you had one character who sort of ended up basically being the person who had to watch over the MC, basically to make sure he wasn't doing anything illegal. And over time, they kind of had a relationship. But the most it was like a little bit more than friendly touching, you know, like, how do I describe it? Basically like a little bit more than hand holding, like kind of shit.
Ooh, getting frisky.
No, it never went that far. And then it's like...
So frisky! Oh, you're a coward.
Well, at that point, the characters were like 15. That's a little awkward to write.
You saying 15-year-olds can't get frisky?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying is like that felt awkward to write.
It's okay. I mean, in my sequel, it starts out and they're like children growing up and stuff, and
also
you read the first chapter where a child gets run over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also to be fair, the MC was currently sort of recovering from a lost relationship because the person that he wanted to originally be with ended up engaged to somebody else. So at the time, he wasn't really open to an actual relationship. But it was like medieval.
Oh, okay, so that would do it.
So it was like to be fair, I wasn't like engaging her to like a 40-year-old man. It was another person around her age.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, even if you did engage her to a 40-year-old man, that would still be like, you know, lore accurate.
Yeah, but my...
Wouldn't be cool, but it would be lore accurate.
So, main character just kind of left to do other shit. Was like, you know, standard, like kind of high school dramatic, where it's like, oh, my life is over kind of thing. So he wasn't really opening himself up to a relationship at the time. So while he did come to care for the character we're talking about, he just wasn't ready at the time. He did eventually go to other countries and ended up bonding with other people. I think by the time he's like 19 or so, he finally ends up with a somewhat committed relationship.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, he would eventually have to return home, and technically the woman's position does not allow for a committed relationship.
Damn, this poor guy. He's like not that good when it comes to romance.
He's really not. Fun fact, something that I think was something I kept hidden in the story is that when he left, they did not know this, she was pregnant.
Oh,
Deadbeat dad.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
To be fair, though, the position he would have in the child's life would depend on gender. So, like, if the child was male, he would be allowed to raise the child. But if it was female, she would be raised by the main society.
I see.
Because she would be trained to be the person who takes over for her mother.
Yeah.
I guess the best way of putting it is, like, basically she was a priestess.
Female yeeted out the window. That's what I was thinking.
What? Did you think I was... No! Did you actually think I would write that?
Hey, I don't know, man.
I mean, you would.
I would, yeah, but like...
So yeah, eventually he would return...
Actually, no, I wouldn't, because most of my protagonists are female, so I mean, like...
But you would have her yeeted...
She would be yeeted out the window.
She'd be yeeted out the window, but she would be saved.
She would be saved, and then grow up, and then come back and fucking... destroy the monarchy.
There are a few sessions with people. Oh man. I think the only time I've ever written like actually focus in on writing a multi-pairing relationship was for a fanfic, and it was like I had reasons for it kind of thing where it's like I don't know how to describe it because it's like you don't know either of the source material, but you kind of do one of them because it was a Harry Potter one. It was a crossover. And like I was completely changing both stories basically.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. I love world building, and I'm sure most people... Man, I feel like we could have a whole discussion about like fan fiction versus writing your own story.
And again, that would be a topic for another day.
To be fair, that can be combined with like our experiences with writing.
Yeah, we could definitely tackle that with the writing one.
Yeah. So yeah,
hey,
I just
would you do me a solid and put a link to my AO3 page in the description?
Sure, no problem.
Nice.
Oh man, I really want to get back.
Anyone who wants to read my shit, go check the description right now.
I really want to get back into writing, and I keep saying, oh, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write today, but then it's like I got so much other shit to do.
We definitely did try that.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Writing on stream is like a lot of pressure.
It is indeed a lot of pressure.
And I just can't think.
I don't really like writing my story on stream because like I feel pressured. I feel pressured like when I'm just sitting by myself.
Yeah.
And writing my own work. But like if it's something random, then I'm fine with it because like I know it's gonna be bad. It's just something that I'm throwing together to get some practice in.
Yeah. And then it's like then you have chat with you, and again I always feel awkward about not talking to chat.
Yeah, that's also true.
Because genuinely I think better when it's like I don't know about anybody else. I think better when I can move around.
He's moving.
So it's like sometimes I will get up and I'll move around when I'm writing, and I will just suddenly come back to my computer. I'm like, okay, I got this.
Yo, that's a good idea.
What's also really funny is that I actually work very well under pressure. I used to make it.
Okay. All right. Last topic for romance in media.
All right. I mean, we were still talking about harems, right?
No.
To be fair, I never clarified when do I consider it a harem.
This is true.
I would say if you start going over like 3, like at least if you go over 4 people in the same relationship, that's a harem, most definitely. Because you're going way, way beyond the scope of being able to create enough distinct characters to be an interesting relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, now move on.
Final topic for romance in media.
I never agreed to this.
Well, my mom came in like 20 minutes ago and she was like, hey, dinner's ready. And I was like, okay.
Okay. Well, dinner's ready.
I'll be out for a second to grab that. And it's been 20 minutes. How am I gonna phrase this?
I don't know.
How do you feel about romance in your own work?
Okay, I need you to be more specific here. What do you mean?
Okay. When I'm building a story idea in my head, most people, they come up with like the world and they want to put characters in said world. I come up with a vague idea of a plot and then more or less a romance.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
So despite being Arrow myself, most of my work includes like a duo, right? That will end up being like together at some point if one of them doesn't fucking die.
Yeah.
And it's whatever my brain decides. Like I have Estelle and her wife Evelyn. They're obviously one of my only gay pairings. I don't think I have any more off the top of my head. Cause you know, like it's that whole conditioned by media.
Yeah.
And A Tale of One Shadow is something I've been working on since I was like 14. So it's been about 10 years. So of course it's gonna be a straight pairing. And you know, that's just kind of like, you know, it's what I want to write. I will probably branch out into other like pairings as well, but I'm not just gonna force it in just for the sake of inclusion. If the story, if I want to write a story and that story happens to have a main character who is, you know, like a bisexual or gay or lesbian, or maybe not even, like maybe they're Arrow Ace, like, you know, like that's something that's gonna be decided alongside the plot, right?
Yeah.
Like the characters are created with my plots.
You create characters with your plot in mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like the plot comes first, and it usually just comes to me in dreams. Like honestly, I'll wake up from a really cool dream and I'll be like, oh, that'd make a cool story, and I'll go write it down.
Yeah.
And if I remember any of the characters from said dream, I will go and I'll write them down as well. That's where my aliens in space sci-fi adventure one came from. That's where my time travel one came from. A Tale of One Shadow, the trilogy plus the spin-off, really was just you know, like that one didn't really come to me in dreams, but like, you know, it's something I've been working on and developing over the course of 10 years. So like, of course, like the world is just gonna expand randomly.
To go back to the original question.
We're going to go back to the original question, is that how do you feel about like putting romance into your own works? Like, is that something that you like to do? Is it something that just kind of happens?
So I always leave the potential for romantic interest in my story, because as a writer, I'm aware people love at least some form of romance in the story. It doesn't necessarily have to be like really open or anything like that. I think one of my favorite romance subplots is probably within the story of Percy Jackson, because the romance is like, it's there as a sort of tension, but it doesn't take anything away from the main story. The characters don't even get together until like the very final book. And what it is that you watch them progress as friends first, but you know that they were attracted to each other, but they don't let that get in the way.
Yeah.
So it was very much like, it was this thing that you knew existed, but you didn't let it take over the plot. You didn't make it to where it's like, because this character loves this character, that's why they're doing every action.
Yeah.
So that's always something I try to pay attention into my own thing, but I also do love watching characters who are driven by that emotion. when it comes to my own writing, I tend to have romantic pairings in mind when I start.
Okay.
So
I'm the same way then. Yeah.
So like, for example, all right, first book I ever tried to write, I worked on with my mom. So I had two characters. One was named Arrow, spelled A-I-R-O-W. I just always had to include the spelling because people will think it's like the word arrow, but it's not.
Yeah.
And you had Jade. So when I created the characters, they were basically childhood friends. Because every story that I had been reading up to that point was like childhood friends to lovers eventually.
Yeah.
So I just always had in mind that they would eventually grow up and get together. And obviously they do, because I was 13 when I was writing this story.
Damn, a wholesome story from a 13-year-old couldn't be me.
Who said? I would not say wholesome. I would not say.
Okay.
It was very.
And you wrote it with your mom? Oh my
god. So to be fair, she wrote the spicy bits.
Oh, okay.
She wrote the sex scene, not me.
Oh, wow, your mom wrote a sex scene.
Yep.
For a book that she was writing with her 13-year-old son. What the fuck is wrong with your mom? What the fuck?
To be fair, by that point, I had stopped working on the story.
Oh, I see.
I had been like, I just couldn't think of anything to really write with it, so I was like, I kind of gave up on it. So she started writing more, and then she wrote that, and I was like, oh, Mom, why?
Yeah, you just created these two characters, and you're like, yep, they're gonna get together, and your mom's like,
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. Exactly that. But I really wouldn't say it was a wholesome story when you realize what all I was writing for it, because it was very much inspired by Harry Potter, because this was my biggest point in the Harry Potter phase. So you had the main character who was the son of the current nobility of that town. So there were like several provinces throughout the country or the kingdom. This was his father's. After he was born, his mother was murdered, and he was kidnapped by by somebody in the town, yada yada yada, who then you would think would kill him, but no, he kept him alive and he raised him while also, very much an abusive father thing.
Yeah.
I forget why he raised him is the thing. I'm like, what was the point of that? Just
I had another topic that I wanted to talk about, but probably not for this stream.
But yeah, for how I feel about romance in my own story is like, I typically, in the case of my own stories, I never set out for the romance. I tend to let the characters kind of build themselves there. Probably one of my favorite ones is probably in a story that I tried to write after the one I just talked about.
Yeah.
It was called Sorcerer Revealed, and I did so many different types of relationship stories as I did writes and rewrites. So originally, one of the main characters, we would eventually ended up in a relationship with a character that wasn't a part of the main cast, but eventually would. But eventually the story ended up changing to where it's like, because I ended up getting rid of several characters. I was like, okay, the cast is too big. I had to start cutting. And then this one main character ended up now becoming, not only was he a main character, but he was also the mentor. And he ended up teaching the other MC. I'm just going to give names now. So the one character's name was Jonah, and one character's name was Allison. So Jonah ends up becoming the instructor and teaches Allison about how to use her magic and stuff to fight against demons. Yes, very classical fantasy.
Yeah.
And although she is currently, how do I put it? She was interested in this other guy named Nicholas. Nicholas is the bad guy of the whole story.
Oh, nice.
But she, of course, doesn't find out till towards the end. So she hates Jonah because she feels like Jonah ruined her life by basically instructing her in magic. It's really convoluted, where it's like magic is kind of a force where like some people have it, some people awaken to it later, and she becomes convinced that Jonah basically did something to ruin her life. Like, because the mages in this world are not a part of the material world. They are a part of the dream world, basically.
Yeah.
So the dream world is where the demons are, and they want to come over to the real world, but the mages have the job to stop them.
Yeah.
And they really get no choice in it. As a result, even if you were born in the material world, if you develop magic, you lose your presence in the real world. And as a result, the world has to have kind of a balance, so they will replace you with a changeling.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, and nobody will realize the swap. The changeling is basically you with minor differences. In any case, she blames Jonah for this happening, and Nicholas kind of promotes this idea because he's manipulating her.
Yeah.
Because she holds the key to basically letting demons run rampant all over the material world.
Yeah.
And so, while she's interested in Nicholas is actually interested in her, admittedly, but he cares.
They let all the demons out.
They do by the end of the story.
Yeah, let's fucking go!
In any case, so he is interested in her, but he has his goals, he has his priorities, because the way he feels about it is if they combine the material and the dream world together, then she can have her life back, because the same thing happened to him. He was also born in the material world, but lost his family to the dream world.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like some parallel. Jonah is actually the same as well. So all three characters come from the same backstory, basically.
Okay.
The really fun part is finding out that Jonah and Allison actually used to be childhood friends.
Aww.
I can't get rid of that. But she doesn't remember him because of the changeling.
Yeah.
Because she was also affected, but she did still have some magic even as a child. So while she wasn't fully invoked by the changeling, that's why the changeling wasn't included in her life.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, their relationship never actually gets to the point where it's romantic, because by the end of the story, where she starts to realize she has a romantic interest in him, he dies.
Man, you're just pulling out all the fucking stops on this one, dude. Like,
yeah.
Where's the book? Give it to me. Give me the book box.
Gets a lot worse, because she has a major survivor's guilt to a point where she ends up creating a demon based off of him.
Wowzers.
So his physical form is revived as a demon.
Damn.
Yep. Of course, then we start getting into all the weird aspects, because then that character ends up becoming a main character in his own way, because he's basically a little kid trapped in a adolescent's body.
Oh.
So you get to see him not understanding, going from being a demon that reacts on instinct to where he's completely submissive to her, not submissive as in sexually.
Yeah.
But submissive as in he just takes her every order because he feels connected to her because she's the one who created him.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of see him learn to grow. He ended up being my second favorite character because he starts to grow as a person in a way. He goes to, he'll start having interests very akin to a child. I actually had a scene where he sees Pokemon and he has a vague interest in it.
Aww.
I'm like, okay, that's actually really fun, because I remember this scene, a very similar scene in another book, and I was like, I kind of want to use that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that seems cool to let him kind of be a child. And as the story progresses, he sort of starts to become an actual physical child.
Yeah.
Of course, he also changes into a girl, but that's beside the point.
Aw, trans demon.
That makes it sound weird.
Trans demon.
Am I trying to insinuate something?
Trans demon rights.
Uh,
Let your demons be transgender.
yeah. It was like, basically speaking, because he's connected to Allison, he tends to, like, he has more feminine interests. He still has some interests where it's like that are more neutral, or even leaning more towards like the socially accepted male interest, but he is more female. I was like, I love this character. I don't fucking know why.
Trans Damon.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
I genuinely don't know why I ended up loving this character and designing their whole arc, and it's like I never even wrote that part of the story. But that was always...
Though. That sounds like a good story.
That was always in my head, and I don't know why I ended up in that direction. So yes, like, romance in my own story is just, it's not something that happens, or it's not something sometimes I go in with the plan, but then the story starts to write itself and it throws all my plans out the window.
I know that for the aliens in space sci-fi adventure, when I designed the two main characters, I wasn't planning to have them in a romance. And then I accidentally designed their kids.
Well, at least it's not like Damon and Kage, who keep reproducing when you're not looking.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, I just accidentally made their fucking children, alright? And I was like, well, I guess they're gonna get together. So that happened. Sometimes the story just goes even if you're not paying attention to it.
That's definitely, like, I feel like we could save that for the writing topic, where we talk about how stories tend to evolve on their own. Life was platonic until kids were added to the lore. Oh man, it's just like, romance is so fun to write. Because maybe, like, in its own way, it's like you feel like you're not going to experience it yourself, so it's like nice to have characters that will.
Yeah, and that's really how I feel about, like, enjoying romance in like anime and fan fiction.
Yeah.
It's that I don't want to experience it. I just want to live vicariously through these two doofuses falling in love for the 30,000th time. You know?
Yep.
Let me live vicariously through my little doofuses. Even when those doofuses are fully grown adults.
Oh man, I feel like fully grown adults in romance are even bigger doofuses. My key example, Lloyd and Yor.
Yes. Yes. Those two were exactly who I was thinking of.
Oh my god, I love Spy Family. I did send you the video of Danny.
Yes, I will definitely watch that after we're done.
It was by far the funniest reaction I have ever seen to Spy Family, and I'm like, I wish I could have as funny of a reaction as this guy does to these things. But it's like, I'm too...
Oh, it's so good.
I'm so logical.
I can't wait for season 3, man. Yeah, don't live vicariously through school days.
Yeah, no.
No, I'll just live vicariously through my two adult doofuses who don't realize that they're so ungodly in love with each other. I saw a post. I don't remember where it was. I don't remember where the post was. But it was somebody saying, Happy Valentine's Day. Daily reminder that Lloyd is so deeply in love with his wife. And it was just him on the ship staring out into the horizon.
Oh man. I love romance in manga and anime more than anything else, just because it's so much more entertaining.
Yeah.
I will say romance in like general movies is also entertaining, but anime just tends to bring things more to life.
Yeah, cause in Hollywood, it's like they're doing a checklist.
Yep. Okay,
And
first
in
up, we got the
anime and
eyes
manga-
meeting across the room. Check.
Yep.
We
They're
got the
just going through a checklist, and
we
that's
got the
how they do
sauce
the
and music
romances.
playing in the background. I'm glad nobody can see me because I was doing a little dance.
And in anime and manga, especially like romance anime and manga, they do tend to like build up the romance
Yes.
because that was like the main point of the series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the thing about Hollywood that always gets me is like the romance is always like practically immediate.
Yeah,
It doesn't
immediate
like even
and,
in
like,
its
a
TV shows. Even in its TV shows, it's like
I love fucking action movies, and like there's that one woman character who's like bland and has no personality and is there to be eye candy and to have sex with the main character at some random interval in the movie, and it's completely out of nowhere.
mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, Hollywood, yeah, this is what women are like.
I'll be real. I think one of my favorite female characters in Hollywood is probably Celine from Underworld, because she's a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movies are about her, and she is an absolute badass despite being in a relationship.
Yeah, can we just have more movies about women?
Yeah, I wish.
Please. Like,
Too bad
come on.
most men don't know how to write women.
I know. We should for one of these podcast episodes, we should just go browse r/men writing women.
Oh boy. New best way to show you fell in love with a person is your glasses explode when you see that person.
Yeah.
Oh man. But like I'm trying to think of my favorite romances in like general media. And it's like most of them come from anime, because like I already said, Lloyd and Yor is one of the best ones to watch.
Lloyd and Yor are like honestly.
But it's mostly just because they're just dumb.
No, I think Lloyd and Yor. You haven't read the manga, right? But
Right.
it's getting fucking real. All right.
Ooh.
It's not real, but it's getting
Aww.
fucking real.
Woo.
They have one of the most like
Amber and
healthy
Neurosword.
and honest fucking relationships that I've ever seen, despite the fact that they are literally hiding their secret lives from each other.
Oh my god, yes.
We are on a tangent. I can go on a tangent.
To be fair, we're talking about
family.
romance in media. At least we're on topic.
Yeah, at least we're on topic. Like, there's a scene, like there's there's a scene where Lloyd comes home from a mission, and at the sight of his wife, who in the panel has a fucking halo around her, collapses to the ground in exhaustion.
I think I've seen that.
Like,
I think Satanaku posted that in the Discord one day.
This man is so unbelievably in love with his wife that he instinctually fucking relaxes in her presence. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh man, I love it. I fucking love it. I can't wait to see that animated.
Me too.
It's so simple, but it's gonna be so good.
She literally has a fucking halo.
Okay.
And the first thing he does is apologizes to her for leaving so suddenly because he thought we were in the middle of having an argument.
Oh man.
This fucking guy, she's not even your real wife. Like, why are you literally perfect?
Just wipe her up already, for reals, man.
Please, for realsies, just propose to her for realsies, please.
I mean, to be fair, it was a real proposal.
With a fucking grenade pin.
Hey, best way of proposal ever.
It's still my favorite episode, not gonna lie.
I guess for me, it's like I really enjoy slow build relationships, which is why it's like from a romantic aspect, I do love the the friends to lovers trope, because it should be a slow build.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's usually like one or both of the characters is like they're interested in other people, and then they slowly start to realize those people weren't right for them, and then they find each other. Oh man, it's why I said like I like the romance in Percy Jackson, because the romance isn't as obvious. It's there, you see it, but you can read the whole story without it, and then it's like, oh hey, they're together, and you're like, this fits so well
I feel like
that they don't need all the exaggerative moments.
I feel like it's the same with Spy Family. Like Spy Family has a lot of like exaggerated moments, but with like, and that, you know, like aren't actually moments of them like, you know, doing like intimate things, but there are actual moments. Like we get them rarely, the big spontaneous moments, but like they make the moments where the characters are sitting down and being vulnerable with each other that much more important and special.
Exactly.
Like let your characters be vulnerable.
I think the last episode I remember watching was the episode where Yor is like insecure about hers and Lloyd's relationship.
There's a lot of those.
Okay.
You'll have to be more specific.
I think it was after What's Her Face showed up.
Oh, Fiona. Okay, I got you.
And it was like, you're basically going nuts because she's drunk. And Lloyd is just trying so hard to get to be like, no, I absolutely. And like, he's so confused because he's like, oh, did she actually fall in love with me?
Yeah, and then she fucking kicks him in the jaw, and then he passes out. And then he wakes up, and they're outside the bar, and they have that really like precious moment of like tender vulnerability together, where he opens up about his past. Like, hello,
it's like
so fucking good.
They're exaggerative at the moments where it's like it's gonna be funny, but when it's the moments that that they are really being a husband and wife without actually trying to, and my God, I'm so jealous of that.
Like he landed on his feet. That's true. He landed on his feet before collapsing.
And it's like, it's those moments, they tone down everything to show that this is truly an intimate moment. It's not a physically intimate moment. Like, I know everybody wants that, but go somewhere else.
I think Lloyd and Yor definitely have a very special, unique emotional
They are
connection.
the healthiest relationship in all of anime.
Yeah, despite not even being together.
They are together in all the ways that matter.
Exactly.
Who gives a damn that, you know, it's all for a mission and
they are
escape
literally
being
raising a child.
Yes.
Like, oh man. Like you can tell.
Yep.
You can tell that Lloyd
I feel like I should have
relabeled
relabeled this as relationships in media, because I do feel like platonic relationships should also be talked about.
Yeah, I do think platonic relationships should be talked about. This is true. We should have done that. We should have had a segment on platonic relationships. Instead, we're just talking about Lloyd and Yor.
To be fair, at least it's on topic.
It is on topic. This is true. It's I could go on forever about the relationship.
I stand by it. It's like
it's so good.
Slow builds. If Hollywood could do them correctly, they would have such a massive fan base. I'm gonna have so many people like sending me like links to fucking whatever rating website says, oh, these are like the best romances. Go take a look at these. Go take a look at these. Go take a look at these. And I'm just like, I think you're kind of missing the point. Is that a lot of times movies don't necessarily make the best romance thing because they're so rushed.
Yeah, because movies are limited to
an hour and a half.
An hour and a half, 90 minutes. Then they tend to rush unless they know that they're getting a sequel, in which case they can really like be lenient with it.
Yeah, like if they're doing a TV show, but even in TV shows, it does feel like they still kind of rush things.
I mean, listen, I haven't watched them myself, but I heard things about the How to Train Your Dragon TV show and how it develops Hiccup and Astrid. I have yet to watch it, but I've heard good things about it. I watched that video by Audrey Graywin, that 3-hour-long video. I watched it.
I'll be real, I should watch that because I did love How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, man.
I will say, as much as I love the Hickstrid pairing, in the first movie, it didn't really make sense because she basically went from hating him to being like, oh, hey, you took me to ride on a dragon's back. I love you now.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely could have slowed that down a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Petition for FGRolls and start to watch Gundam Seed Destiny, and Gundam Seed Freedom.
Sorry, I don't do mechas. I watched one, and it was Code Gay Ass, and it certainly was gay.
Oh man, you're gonna have people coming at you in the comments for that one.
Yeah, I am. Come at me, bro.
Let's see. Damn,
Did you see Suzaku penetrate him at the end?
Someone takes. Oh God. I'm over here reading chat and you're saying this and I'm like, oh no. Oh man.
Good shit. Why do we keep saying oh man?
I don't know. I say it because that's just how I've always said it.
Good shit.
Ugh. Do I have any other topics that I wanted to talk about? I don't really know because it's like I really only planned on the 4, which was the representation, the love triangles. Your second one was just you coming in on that one, and then the harems. So I was like, that was really all I had. I feel like now it's like talking about which ones we think did romance correctly. It seems to mostly be like, for you would say Spy Family, and I 100% agree.
Yeah.
As far as books go, I don't know about movies because it's like I'm not much of a cinema buff. And like straight up romance stories don't interest me. I prefer romance as a subplot. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. But a lot of the times, like, romance tends to take hold if it's like, if it's a subplot where it's like, it just tends to go out there.
I can't say Kaguya because like they didn't, like, it was like the whole season, like all 3 seasons until the end was mostly just who's gonna confess first.
I have been wanting to say Kaguya-sama, but then it's like, I kind of feel like that one, it's not even the romance that is an attraction, it's the comedy.
It's definitely the comedy.
It's the comedy of watching them try to confess.
Whenever I go back to Kaguya, it's usually because I want to laugh.
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry, it's not them trying to confess, it's them trying to get the other person to confess.
Yeah.
If in season 3 that has not swapped to them trying to confess themselves, I just... bleh.
It does.
Okay, good. Because like at some point you gotta be tired of trying to force the other person to confess, right?
Don't worry. They actually, like, you know, get there.
Thank God. I love rom-coms.
Spoilers for Kaguya-sama, but
like I never actually thought I would like rom-coms or sitcoms.
I like rom-coms. They're good.
But I haven't. Horny Mia is also a really good one.
I loved Horny Mia. And yeah, I am calling it Horny Mia.
Yeah. To be fair,
tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong at all. Hori is definitely a character.
Oh, yep, she sure was horny.
All I can remember is that one chapter where she wanted him to step on her.
Yeah, there was just a lot of her wanting him to fucking slap her all the time.
So we know who the bottom is.
Yeah. She's like, damn, that's kind of hot. Do it again. He's like, no, I don't want to hurt you.
He's like, no.
No.
And then he's like, he just does it anyway. Oh my God. I love Miyamura.
Yeah, he's fucking peak male design.
I think the crazy part was eventually finding out that he is also voiced by Sayu.
Oh, really?
In English.
I watched it in sub, so I don't know.
Yeah, I also watched the few episodes I did in sub, so I didn't know this, and I was like, hold the shit. Oh my God.
His friend telling him it isn't a sexual thing.
That's bullshit. It is 100% a sexual thing.
I love it. I love it when he goes to his friend for help and he's just like, so like, let's say you have a romantic partner and they want you to like hit them. What do? And he's like, well, that's kind of weird. And he's like, okay, well, watch this. And he goes over to Hori and he fucking yells at her and slaps her across the face. And then she has to fucking walk away because she's about to have an orgasm, dude. Like, seriously.
Oh my god.
It's funny as shit.
I love Horimiya. It's such a ridiculous series. 100%.
So
and
good. And the opening is so good, by the way. I've been just listening to it.
Although speaking of Miyamura and what's his name? Because I forget his name. The purple-haired guy?
The purple-haired guy. I forgot his name too.
Okay, good. So it's not just me. I will always remember the one where it's like he just gets the snot beat out of him. And it's weird because it's like I was watching that and I'm like, did you get knocked out by those baby ass punches?
What I like in Horimiya is that they take your expectations and then just fucking throw them in the trash. Cause I totally thought they were both fighting for her, but they weren't.
No.
It was so funny. Oh yeah, Anispia and Euphilia was so fucking cute, man. Oh, good shit. If you haven't, have you finished the I forget the English name. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and Genius Young Lady.
Yes.
Have you finished that? You finished that? It was good.
We all finished that together.
I watched it on my own, okay? Like,
oh,
because I missed a couple of episodes. I had to leave during one of them.
That relationship was so freaking wholesome. I loved it.
They were so cute. Hello?
My special love of the show is that, despite everything that people might have thought, the writers did not even sexualize it.
Yeah, they didn't.
And I'm like, I'm true. So surprised.
We did watch it. I watched it with Satanaku and I think like one other person.
Yeah, we also watched it. We did finish it, and I actually loved it. I saw the part where the brother got banished.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why didn't you hit him harder?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. He goes, ow, to like that slap, and I'm like, dude, that should not have hurt. That was like barely a tap on the cheek. She should have hit him so hard that he was on the ground.
Yeah, for real.
Like, absolutely deserved it.
I've been wanting to pick up the light novels because I love their relationship. I thought they were so cute.
Star just wants to read about the hot maid and the vampire chick.
No.
Yes.
I want to read about my two main characters having lesbian sex.
But yeah, no, I can tell you exactly how I know we finished it, and you were with us when we finished it.
I don't recall. I remember finishing it on my own. Because
we had a discussion about the two of them having kids. During the scene where they were like, flying across the kingdom.
Is Yuffie the top? Wait. Yeah, Yuffie's the top. Yeah.
Because I remember making the joke. It was like, we were like, if magic can, actually, no, oh, no, wait. We had the conversation about, like, whether or not their kid would be trans or not. It was an interesting conversation.
Very interesting conversation.
Yeah. But basically, we made a lot of jokes during this where it was like, we were like, okay, I just remember us having the conversation about, like, men getting an artificial womb as a result of magic.
Oh, fuck yes. I'm down for that.
Where we were like, okay, so how do we make impreg work? And it's like, well, magic does. Like, if magic can give women a dick, it can give men a womb.
You fuckers can carry the baby.
Didn't they? There was a manga that did that. One Half Prince.
I'm down to read that. I'm gonna go read it right now.
It was like, I don't remember what chapter it was, but basically, the female protag who plays as an elf character in a video game, plays as a male elf, ended up in a relationship with this other guy. They do eventually get together in real life. By the way, the guy does play as a male character.
Okay.
So it's like, as far as he knew, he was dating a guy.
Oh.
But he was completely...
So what? She just infiltrated this gay guy's fucking DMs? Like, what's going on?
No. He was totally fine with her actually being a girl, so he was at least bisexual.
Okay. Oh, definitely. Okay. Bisexual characters in my anime. Fucking
in any
love
case,
it.
he was like, well, what if we want to have a kid? And she's like, well, I'm not carrying it. And then coincidentally, there was an ad on the TV that said, we now found a way to allow men to carry the child. Coincidentally.
Seahorse dad, let's go!
So they were like, all right, let's do this. And then they had a daughter. Woohoo!
Aw, wholesome. Seahorse dad.
I'm just like, it is a thing where it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of impreg stories. This is probably not where we want this discussion to go. But I'm like, if you have magic involved, all the rules are thrown out the window.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't say it's like, oh, well, this shouldn't be possible. It's like, look, I've read enough Fate to know that if magic can give women a functioning penis, it can give men a functioning womb.
All right, dude. It is 7 p.m. on my end. I haven't eaten yet, and I'm getting hungry.
Okay. To be fair, is like, if you want, we can go ahead and in-stream here and just skip the fairy tale viewing.
I would love that.
It's like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's like, we didn't expect this to run long. I'll be honest, I was expecting this to probably end after 2 hours.
Yeah, and then we just kept talking.
We really, really did. So,
oh, and my back is hurting.
So yeah, I will offer you guys a big apology for not doing the viewing tonight. But I do thank everybody who showed up here for the podcast portion of the stream. Thank you guys. It is so appreciated. And if you guys could do us a favor, is that when you're watching, if you go back to watch this on YouTube, please leave a like. Please leave a comment that tells us what you guys think we could do to improve the podcast. The main thing that I think we could do is staying on topic.
Yeah, I think we should just stop like going off topic.
Yeah, like at the very least, as the one who's hosting, I should be like, if we go off topic, I should be able to just say, okay, let's pull it back.
Leave a comment if you found my story in the description of the video and read it.
And if you didn't find her story in the description, shoot a DM at Fox and let him know, Fox, you fucker, you forgot it.
If you didn't find it in the description of the video, fucking yell at Fox because he forgot to put it there.
One main thing, have the heads on the PNG align, please.
Sorry, we can't do that. I'm short.
She is.
No, put me down.
If I align Star, she's just like, she's massive.
I'm just closer to the screen than you are.
This actually looks a lot closer to the thumbnail, actually, now that I think about it.
I'm just closer to the screen.
Oh,
that's true. Just make Fox smaller.
100%, by the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, this looks 100% like a girl taking a selfie, and her dad is just in the background.
It really does.
I like it.
Hey, Dad, smile for the camera.
No. Unfortunately for me, my PNG is perpetually smiling.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, it's not really a smile. It's like, he's got like a tiny smirk. It is so fun to edit that when I'm like trying to make him frown. I'll just grab the mouth, cut it out, and then flip it down.
You doing a tack talk, kiddo?
You doing one of those them tic-tac-toes?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my god. But yeah, okay, so does that look better, Satanaku?
Or we can make you smaller.
I don't want to be smaller though.
But Dad.
If I look smaller, it looks even more like I'm in the background. Another inch? We trying to give Star another 24 inches?
Yeah, we are.
All right, I kind of can't. do it because it's like, yeah, I can't do it any further because all of the stuff for changing the size has gone off screen.
It's gone.
I just realized your character has an ahoge.
Yeah, all my main characters do. How did you just notice that, though? You literally cut the fucking background out of this picture. How did you not notice?
What do you mean try going down on my side? Like, I can probably move stars up a little bit more, but that's about the best I can do.
Womp womp.
And I can't go down on my side because I also don't. All the stuff is off screen. I'm at.
Yeah, put me back down a little bit, cause when I talk, I'm gonna hop, and they're gonna see that I am just a PNG, and there's nothing below me.
All right, yeah. That's the other thing is that like I tried to situate it in a point where we could see where everything is. But in any case, thank you guys for watching the stream. I hope this was fun. We will of course be back next week where we will be talking about our writing experiences. Or just writing in general. I think that'll be really fun.
We're gonna go off on writing.
Yes, that's gonna be really fun. I think we have a lot to say there. I think we could say the fairy tale viewing is not happening next week either.
Should be a short stream, then shut the fuck up.
Again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate the support. I will hope to catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
I'm gonna go eat because my food has been sitting out for an hour.
Damn. All right, let me go see who we're gonna be raiding today. Okay, we could roll. We could raid Nyx. We could raid.
Yeah, I'll catch you later, my dude.
All right, see you around. I'll go ahead and give it to Nyx. I feel always safe raiding him because he's a really cool guy. So again, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate the support. And hopefully you guys will enjoy tomorrow's stream, whatever I'm doing. I might finally play the Honkai Star Relevant tomorrow. That's something I've been kind of putting off for a while. So either way, till next time, everybody, have a good rest of your day.